from you.
I'm glad. But I would be happy if you're able to write down what all you learned and send me. That's when I'll be happy. Okay. Welcome to the Young CMO Global Socratic Dialogue program. So there are a lot of us who are joining us live on YouTube as well. We have students from India, Pakistan, and Bahrain who are joining in for this Global Socratic Dialogue. And we have a jury consisting of members with diverse experience. We'll be introducing them soon. So this program is split into two phases, analysis part and synthesis part. We'll be following the Pareto's law. 80% of our time will go into analysis and only 20% of the time will go into synthesis. The actual application part is easy provided the conceptual understanding is very clear. So we'll be spending most of our time in conceptual depth. So in analysis, again, we've got three parts. We've got positioning, we've got thought leadership, and we've got execution of thought leadership. So this is what we'll be doing today. So we'll be having two semifinals followed by a final. So in the final, we'll be discussing analysis 3 and synthesis. In the semifinals, we'll be discussing analysis 1 followed by analysis 2 in the second semifinal. We've shortlisted 4 teams. The teams which do not make it to the first 4 can still participate in the program by documenting your learnings, by asking questions. We are taking audience questions. This program, this format is designed such that the participants will also be answering a few audience questions which are picked up by the moderator. So we request the audience to keep sending in your questions. So I'm sure we all can have fun and I'm sure we all can learn a lot. Positioning is a very nuanced topic. Positioning is a very nuanced topic. And today, by the way, is the birthday of Jack Trout, one of the greatest marketeers ever, who taught us the concept of positioning. So I think this is a great way to celebrate his birthday. A great way to celebrate a thought leader's birthday is to remember their ideas and is to get children to discuss their ideas, right? That's what we're doing today. Positioning is a topic which very, very few people understand well. Very, very few marketers understand positioning. Positioning is one of the most confused concepts. So children, are you all ready to show the world how to understand positioning?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great. So we hope that we can get a very simplified perspective and a very fundamental perspective of positioning from you all. The second phase is when we're going to be talking about thought leadership. While positioning is a very old concept of marketing, it's an evergreen concept, will always be relevant probably, but it's highly confused. The second concept which we're looking at today is thought leadership, which is a futuristic concept. Very, very few CMOs understand it. Even among CMOs, very few understand the concept of thought leadership. But futuristic brands like MasterCard have been using them, and we hope that you guys will be able to really articulate thought leadership and talk about how companies can use thought leadership. We talk of AI being the future, we talk of blockchain being the future, but thought leadership is also the future, but it's very conceptual, so not very tangible. So very few people understand because we can't touch and feel it. But we hope these little kids are going to show us how to understand these very fundamental concepts with the help of relatable examples around us. So without any further ado, I wish to introduce the jury members which we have today and the teams which we have for the semi-finals. Vidya, would the jury members take some time? Or
Yeah, the jury members are ready.
no, I see them in the breakout room.
We are here. I'm here.
Yugandhar sir is here, but I think the other 3 members are still in the breakout room.
Yeah, I'll just say.
Hi, I'm here as well.
Yeah, hi. So, Krishnapriya, can we announce the names of the teams which have made it?
Sure, Tarun. So our finalist teams are Glowing Stars, Mighty Thinkers, Curious Minds, and Concept Squads. Congratulations to all of you.
Again, I repeat, the teams which have not made it to the final 4, 2 announcements. A, you can trouble these guys. Come in with fantastic collaborative questions. We'll take them in the program. B, document all your learnings from the program, right? Students will receive a certificate. Students will receive a certificate only if you have a proper report describing what you have learned from the program. Even if you win the competition, and if you do not send us your detailed report with what you've learned from the program, we shall not give you a certificate, right? So I hope we can all learn from the program. So keep writing your points of what you've learned from the program. And if you have something very interesting, you can just leave it in the WhatsApp group which you're in. So all those anecdotes can be shared within the network. So let's celebrate all our highlights during the program, right? So now, before we start the program, I request the 4 teams, one member from each team, to summarize what was your journey so far, so the jury members could understand what you went through yesterday and today before you're here to present to them. So can someone come in from one of the 4 teams?
Sir?
Yeah, Neha, would you want to start?
Yeah, okay.
Rajesh, could you take over? I'll just be back in 2 minutes. I'll talk to the jury members and come back. A few of the jury members who have questions, I'll talk to them and come back. Rajesh, are you here?
Sure. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Krishnapriya, please come to the breakout room number 2.
Yes.
I'm allocating you.
Yes. Yes, you can start.
Okay, so of course, the journey was kind of hectic because we just started it out yesterday, but we are so proud of ourselves. Like, I can't believe we in total wrote somewhat like more than 1,000 words for this um, competition or participating this program. And from the first part, the positioning, well, we learned from the topic itself, the topic that we took, wild conservation. There was actually a lot we knew about wild conservation that we never actually kept our thought into, and we never wanted to look up into. But now, while actually taking a specific topic and thinking about it, it was actually like we were kept in a place. We were given like you can use how much of a time you want. You have the whole amount of money you have and you in the world, and you can do whatever you want and choose one topic, and what
Right.
would you do with that? And so
Right.
when we took wild conservation as a topic, it was actually very fun to work with it. And so we actually
Okay.
explored a lot about wildlife conservation also. And coming to inside it, we got to actually learn about something new. We actually figured out new jargons, like positioning strategy. We actually had no idea what that even meant. I kind of heard it sometimes in the news, but I didn't know what that means. So we actually understood about that, and we understood what a word to own means and what a cause is, and we looked up into
Okay.
it, and we actually had a lot of new vocabulary learning also in this. And could you just tell what that positioning strategy is, how much we understood?
Sorry, Neha.
Could I tell how what we understood from the positioning strategy?
No. We would just want to know a brief of it.
Okay.
The next team. We would like to go to the next team and know from them how was their journey. Is someone there? Yeah. Go
Yes.
ahead, Deepak.
So this whole Socratic learning dialogue which was there, exactly as Neha said, we had no idea that there were so many students here from 3 countries, and we had no idea that we would ever get selected after seeing that what kind of the answers they are giving. But yes, I'm actually I'm very happy that I and my teammates made it. So now talking about the experience, this was a whole new topic for us. We had never learned something. We had never learned something so deep. We had never gone so deep about business strategies and all. So after learning all these positioning strategies and the thought leadership and then the execution strategy, we got to know about a whole new concept about how these
Yeah.
marketing companies work.
Okay. We would like to see you use them over here today in the Socratic dialogue. Thank you, Deepak.
Yes.
The
Yes.
next team, I would like to call upon one of the members from the next team. Are you here?
Sir, can I?
Yeah, please
Yeah,
say.
go ahead.
Sir, I just wanted to say that I have learned a lot from these 3 days. I have, first of all, I didn't even know how to start a company or what do we need to start a company, or what is thought leadership, or what is positioning strategies while starting a company. And with this questionnaire and all of your teachers' hard work, I came to know how to start a successful company and how to position it in such a way using thought leadership to create it a very successful company and business.
Okay. Thank you, Said. The fourth team, the last team qualifying today. Would you like to go in and tell us how was your journey and how was your experience in the last 3 days?
Yes, I'm going from the team concept squad. So the whole journey has been like a very easy and fruitful too. I wouldn't say like a pretty easy, but it was a bit tough, and there were moments when we were very nervous, but still we made it through. And I would say that this whole sensation competition has been such a wonderful experience, because there's like learning learning while having fun in like a Socratic dialogue. So I was in this before the last time, and it was also pretty fun last time. And this time in the interview, it was pretty fun too.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, Tarun.
Yeah. So I shall now introduce the jury members for today. Myself and my colleague Krishna Priya shall introduce the jury members, and we shall be starting analysis 1. So we have with us Ms. Rachita Agarwal. She's been judging various Science Socratic Dialogue programs for the last 2 years or so. It's a little, I mean, every time when I had to introduce her, I would only say that it's difficult to introduce her because she tries to study alternative farming, alternative education. She tries to see collaborative spaces which are set up. She's, I would say, an explorer and a traveler who's been moving to different parts of India to see various things which people are doing. And I think education is one topic which she's personally very interested in. And the way she understands children, I think, is quite interesting. In a previous avatar, she was a management consultant, and she still brings that very structured thinking approach wherever she goes. And I probably think she'll bring that thought process today in the kind of questions you would see. And we also have with us Mr. Yugandhar Reddy, my mentor, an advisor to Deep Thought EduTech Ventures, and he's the founder of VREAP, a very exciting social entrepreneurship startup where he's empowering rural entrepreneurs. He's encouraging a lot of rural youth and rural women to start their own companies, and he guides them and he coaches them to become successful entrepreneurs. And this impact, I think, sir will definitely tell you more about it as we go forward into the program. Is impacted more than 50 villages, and he's a sweet human being who asks wonderful questions. He's ruthless when it comes to his questions, and very sweet when it comes to the way he gives feedback. So I'm sure it will be a great experience having him with us. And we also have with us Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy. This is his first Socratic dialogue. He was referred to us by one of our shareholders of a company who used to work with Zomato earlier, and she had a lot of nice words to say about him. Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy worked in the corporates for a long time, and then he moved to the academia. He's been serving various educational institutions, and currently he's working in Symbiosis B School. And we've had a fantastic interaction with him, and we look forward to his experience with Deep Thought and to see what he thinks of the Socratic Dialogue format. I now request my colleague Krishna Priya to introduce the other two jury members we have for the day. Krishna Priya, over to you.
Yeah. So hi everyone. We have Miss Deepika Hake, who's here as a jury member for us. So she is a founder of Nama Awards. She's also a Googler. So she's been working with Google for the past 9 years. She was a senior manager there. So I recently got to connect with her, and I really feel that she's very inspiring, and she was really soft to be talking with me as well. So I want to introduce her to our all of you. It is great pleasure to talk about her. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Krishna Priya, if you could also introduce Ms. Gail.
Yes, sure. So we have Miss Gail Hanston here. she's a marketing director at Becca Joyce Botanics. So she's also been a writer for the past 9 years. So it's our pleasure to have her here with us. It's a pleasure to have her here with us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and now we have two more jury members. Mr. Mukund is a management consultant, and his expertise is positioning. So it's so appropriate that we've got him here as a jury member. I got in touch with Mr. Mukund last year when we were doing a Socratic dialogue along with school teachers, school principals, teacher trainers, students. I mean, we got all the stakeholders together on Mahatma Gandhi's to celebrate 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, Nai Talim conference. And during that time, his wife, who happens to be an edtech person who works with school children, was there as a participant. So he had accompanied her, Miss Anjali. So that's when we had a fantastic conversation with him, and luckily, so we were able to invite him today to join the jury. So I hope we have a great perspectives flowing in from Mr. Mukund. We also have Dr. Chandrasekhar DP, who will be joining us soon. He's the CEO of JGI Schools and was formerly the district governor for Toastmasters, and was also one of the former national chairs of CII Young Indians. And he works with children, he works with entrepreneurs, and he coaches people on leadership. So I'm sure his perspectives on marketing, positioning, and leadership would also be quite relevant to the discussion today. So on this note, we hope to start with the first semi-final. Krishnapriya, what is it? Can we introduce the two teams for semi-final one?
Yes. So the two teams for semi-final one are. So yeah, we have semi-final one. Two teams are Glowing Stars and Mighty Thinkers. So would the teams members introduce themselves and tell us what their backgrounds are? Team Glowing Stars.
Glowing Stars, can you all give a quick intro of yours? Yeah.
Yes.
We are.
My name is Aroha Sanyal.
My name is Himanshu Jha.
My name is Deepak Toshniwal, and we are from APJ School, Salt Lake, Kolkata, and our team name is Glowing Stars.
Okay. Would your team members also want to introduce themselves?
Yeah, my name is Himanshu. I am from class 8, APJ School, Salt Lake.
Yeah.
I am Aroha Sanyal. I am from class 7, APJ School, Salt Lake.
Okay.
In
now,
the semi-finals one.
Mighty Thinkers.
Yeah, so I'm Shamita. I'm sixth grade and I'm studying in Silver Oaks International School, and this is my third Socratic dialogue.
Hi, my name is Neha and I'm also from 6th grade and I study in NMS GPS, and I am part of the Mighty Thinkers team, and this is my first Socratic dialogue.
Okay, so we shall have Team Mighty Thinkers in the question box and Team Glowing Stars in the answer box. So Team Glowing Stars, you'll be starting with your response to question for discussion 1. You'll be starting with your response to question for discussion 1. You'll get a quick minute to present your answer. You'll get a quick minute to present your answer for question for discussion 1. I'll read out the question for discussion 1 for our audience and for the jury members who've just joined in. Think of a cause to work on. Think of a cause to work on. Define a word which you wish to own. Think of a cause which you wish to work on and a word which you wish to own. And what is a positioning strategy you'll use to own this word? Yeah. So over to you, Team Glowing Stars. You get a quick minute to present the cause, the word, and the positioning strategy.
Okay.
Sorry, screen sharing is disabled, sir.
Yeah, it's enabled now. Yeah. I would encourage you to speak out. Reading out from a PPT is something which we usually, right? You can stop your screen sharing and you can just present it, right? Yeah.
Okay, sir. So analysis 1 is positioning.
No, can you explain what is the cause you've picked?
Yes. So the cause we have picked is unemployment. So as we know, India is a
unemployment. What is the word you wish to own?
uh, wish to own.
Yeah, that was the question, right? The cause which you've picked, the word which you wish
Yes.
to own, and the positioning strategy. Which
Yes.
word do you wish to own? What do you want people to remember you as? Which word do you wish to own?
Reliable.
Reliable.
Reliable, right? So what is your positioning
Yes.
strategy?
So our positioning strategy is that we will tell the people that we will give the jobs to all kinds of people, experienced or non-experienced, and we will run TV advertisements. We will run advertisements on in TV, social media, and all other networking platforms, showing people how other people have got their job using our apps. And unlike other companies, we will also guarantee that we will give a refund if we fail to give you a job or if you are not satisfied.
Yeah, and sir, mean experienced or non-experienced means, sir, that the people who are experienced in their field and they need a job, our AI-based system will give them job. Will take. Let us suppose if they are choosing our free plans, so we won't charge them, and likewise we will connect with companies and then tell them that yeah, you have got a job, or if the companies tell that yes, this person is we are
Himanshu,
selecting,
1 minute,
then
please.
our yes.
Yeah. So in a Socratic dialogue, we usually prefer to have shorter sentences. So it's less of a speech and more of a dialogue. So if you can keep your response short, I think we'll understand you better, right? But I think we got the essence of what you're presenting. So the question box, would you wish to start with your question? So the cause they've picked is unemployment. The word which they wish to own is reliable. And they've suggested a list of activities which they wish to do, through which they will be hopefully owning this word reliable. So question box, mighty thinkers, do you have some questions to ask?
Sir, Shamita has one.
Yeah, Shamita, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. So you have said that you have picked up the word reliable. What made you pick this word when you talk about unemployment?
Okay, so as we said that we are reliable because uh, first we are telling them that either you are experienced or non-experienced, you will get a job,
Deepak, I
and
hope we
there's
can
a
answer the question. Their question was, why have you picked the word reliable? Deepak, their question is, why have you picked the word reliable?
So
Sir,
I
can I
think
say?
ma'am, sir, because as we said, if they are not satisfied or if they are not getting the job, so there's no waste of money on our app.
No, her question is, why have you picked the word reliable?
so they can rely on us that they will get a job. If they are not getting a job,
That
then they
still
will.
doesn't answer her question. Why have you picked the word reliable is the question asked.
Sir, because we want to prove our product that it is trustworthy for them.
Okay, over to mighty thinkers. Would you have a question to ask in response to this? Would you want to counter this answer? They've picked the
Sorry,
word
sir.
reliable because they want the people to think they're trustworthy.
Okay. Yeah, I have a question to counter this. Will this, by telling this word, you will become trustworthy? By just telling the word reliable, do you think they will?
Neha, I think we got your question. Just by using the word reliable, would you be trustworthy is the question. Over to answer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, of course, because what makes us trustworthy is our work.
And also our quality.
1 minute, 1 minute. We got your answer. Over to question box. They're saying
Yes, sir.
is their work which makes them trustworthy. That's their response. Question box, would you want to counter that?
Yes, but what is the assurity that you will do what you tell you will do?
We are guaranteeing that we will give them jobs. We are guaranteeing that.
But what? How will they get that assurity? What if they don't get like as you told, refund will come, but they want to have a job. They don't want any refund. They want a job only. Then
No,
what
but
is the
but
situation?
actually we actually the thing is that we are taking their response about their experience, and then we are getting them jobs. Now there is a guarantee that we will give them jobs using our AI system, because the AI system will give them some options that they, based on your experience, these are the companies where you can work. So
So yeah, we are basically acting as connector between the company and the person who is wanting a job. If a company selects the person, then the company directly talks with the person. This is how it basically works.
Okay, so you said you will like assign that job by you'll ask first what is their experience. So what experience would
1 minute, Shamita, how is your question relevant to the theme? Are we deviating? The theme is the word to be owned, the cause they're working on, and the strategy to own that word. The strategy to own the word reliable in the prospect's mind. So do you think your question is relevant to the theme?
So could you repeat? We should ask. Yes, sir. She
I
was
hope you've read
asking.
the questionnaire. The questionnaire is about the cause they're working on. The cause they're working on is unemployment. The word they wish to own is reliable. And they are presenting us their positioning strategy to own this word reliable in the customer's mind. They want all the customers to think of them as reliable. That's their positioning strategy.
Okay.
So her question, is it related to the theme, which is positioning strategy?
Okay. So I have a question. Can I ask?
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so your topic is unemployment, and what you want to do is give jobs to the people who are unemployed. But what if that doesn't work? If they do not have enough experience
So
to
is it
actually
relevant
get
to
a
the theme?
job?
How is it related to the theme? You can set up the relevance and we'll take your question. The
yes,
theme
sir.
is how
Here
they'll
I
own
would
that
like
word.
to say that
1 minute, Deepak. It's a Socratic dialogue. Let's go with that element of focus. So Neha, how is it related to the theme of positioning strategy? So they are explaining you how they hope to own that word reliable in the prospect's mind. So if you think it's related, you can explain to us how it is related. We'll take your question.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Do you think it's related to the theme?
Sir, could you just give us 1 minute to think of his question?
Yeah. So we're going into an audience round after this. We request all the audience to send in your questions. Those of you who are on the Zoom call can send it via Zoom chat. Those who are following us live on YouTube can send it in the comments. We'll be taking audience questions after this. I wish to summarize this for the people who just joined in. So the team has picked up this cause of unemployment. They wish to work on unemployment. Their company would be working on unemployment. And their positioning strategy is to occupy this word reliable in the prospect's mind. So they have come up with a strategy to own the word reliable. So they wish to give a job guarantee to all the people on their platform, both experienced and inexperienced candidates. And they wish to use an AI platform to match the employers with the potential employees. And this is the strategy which we've heard from them so far. So if you have any questions, you can send them in the comments and we'll be happy to take some of the audience questions. Yeah, Neha, please go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay, so how would this word to own reliable can help the people who are unexperienced?
Yeah, so for the unexperienced people also we have a system. Now our app will provide them with the
1 minute,
video.
1 minute, 1 minute. Neha, I think we didn't get your question. Can you please explain your question carefully?
Okay, so your word to own is reliable, and you have explained us why you chose the word reliable. So, for inexperienced people, how will this be reliable?
Yeah,
So
so
is
your
your question related to the theme?
The app they want to make, it was related to that. So, yes.
No, but the theme is how they wish to own the word reliable. They are saying they wish to own the word reliable by telling people that they'll guarantee a job. So the theme is how will they go and own this word? Whenever someone thinks of reliable, they should remember them. Shamita or Neha, would you have a question in response to this?
Yes, sir, just thinking.
Okay, we'll end this round here. We request the jury members to score the overall quality of questioning and quality of answering in the score sheet. So while the jury members would be scoring, if anybody from the audience wishes to reflect on what did you observe from the participants, we are happy to hear you. If any of the members from the audience wishes to state your observations, we are happy to hear you. Audience, please keep sending in your questions. We'll be taking audience questions now. Audience, please keep sending in your questions. We'll be taking audience questions now. Yeah. Anybody from the audience who wishes to state what you've observed in the dialogue so far, any observations you've made? Anybody from the audience? While the jury members are scoring it, anybody from the audience who wishes to state your observations? Anybody from the audience who wishes to tell us what you observed? Any of the teachers or any of the deep thought participants also can state your observations.
Sir, may I?
Yeah, I want to tell. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, I observed that focusing on the question and the question box should focus on the question and should ask a question according to the theme and and circulating around the main reason.
Yeah, Isa, one small perspective here. Instead of looking at it as I should focus on the question, I generally feel that the should can be replaced by a can. Should can be replaced by a can. And why do I say this? When you say that I should ask related to the question, why are you doing it? Because it is a rule. But if you say, if I ask questions related to the theme, then I would have focused learning. Do you see why I'm saying should can be replaced by can?
Yes, sir.
If I say should, somebody is forcing me to do it. If I say can, I realize the reason, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but I'm with you. I'm glad you reminded us of the importance to focus on the core theme. Anybody else who wishes to state what you've observed so far? I mean, until the judges score the teams. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
It is very good to see the response of the students for the very first day. The participation is very good and the theme is also used very good. And we hope to elaborate and answer more of this, more like this.
Thank you. Praveena, would you want to state your observations? We have Praveena from the Thought Leadership Lab of Deep Thought EduTech Ventures. So her job description is to do what we are discussing in part 2 of our questionnaire. So Praveena, would you want to just put into context what is going on from your perspective? Yeah.
It's interesting to hear the responses of the students regarding the Socratic dialogue. While one said that pointed out to a crucial point, saying that a certain sense of focus is being brought through questions. But like you said, any dialogue being driven by questions can take you to focus, but it like Tarun said, the can lead you to questions, can lead you to a better understanding. It's not necessarily the should. So let's keep this in mind, and let's see what more we could get through as the dialogue progresses.
Okay. Is Vidya back from the breakout room? Vidya, are we good to go for the audience round?
A few of the jurors are still entering this course.
Okay, great. We request the audience to keep sending in your questions, and we request you to make sure that your questions are related to the theme. We are getting a few questions like, how will you make sure you'll do it? How will you make sure you'll do it? Give jobs and all. But that's not really relevant to the theme, because the theme is, we're only discussing positioning strategy, not the overall organizational strategy, but the positioning strategy. It's like if you're discussing a house, today we're only discussing the living room of the house. Positioning strategy is probably just the living room, while strategy is probably the entire house. So we're discussing one small aspect of strategy. So we request you to make sure that your questions are related to the theme of positioning strategy. So they are explaining us how they wish to own the word reliable. That is, if anybody thinks of the word reliable, they've got to think of their company. Yeah. So Vidya, please give me a go ahead once. Yeah.
Could you allocate us to a breakout room, the jurors?
Yeah, the jury are all, you're already allocated.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so anybody else who wishes to state your observation, anybody from Deep Thought team, so that the audience can get a perspective of what to expect today. Shweta, would you want to go in?
I guess
Shweta, are you here? Shweta, are you here?
Tarun, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Please go ahead.
Right. I mean, we have begun with, the positioning strategy and, the word that, we are like positioning the company around. Currently, even what, along with, I guess, the question box team, even I was like thinking of, what were the key factors that they took under consideration while, they were, thinking about the positioning word. And, apart from the reasons that they're actually provided, why they took that word, particularly why reliable was their core word, I guess I could relate to few of the things. And again, we focus, while we are focusing only on the theme and not apart from the word. I think that, again, while my friend Pravina actually stated previously how we cannot actually go out of the focus. I think, again, as the Socratic dialogue progresses, we would see many more points coming in.
Yeah. One of the audience question was, Tata competes with you on the same word. Is it really a question? We would like you to think about it. So we all can learn the art of questioning. A lot of times while trying to question, we state an assertion. So can we convert our assertions into questions? Again, that's something which I wish all of us can think about. So I think the Socratic dialogue is fantastic because we learn the art of questioning. A lot of times we do not have the right question to ask. We have a motivation, but we don't have the question. So how do we convert that intent into content? I think is a important faculty for us all to develop. Krishnapriya, are we good to go and have all the jury members scored?
We have few more yet to complete the scoring.
Okay. Yeah, please give me a heads up once we're good to go.
Yes.
So we'll catch up pace as we move to the second semi-final. Usually the first semi-final we go a little slow so everybody can get used to the format. So for the people who just joined in, let me summarize the discussion so far. So the team Glowing Stars have picked up the cause of unemployment and they wish to own the word reliable, and their positioning strategy is that they wish to give an employment guarantee and they wish to use an AI platform to ensure that everybody is matched to a job which suits them. This way, by giving proper employment to everybody, they wish to be remembered. They wish to be remembered as the most reliable employment platform out there. So their strategy is to be remembered as the most reliable employment platform out there. And so if you have any questions, please send them in. We've been reading all the questions and we're waiting for the jury to be done scoring. And after that, I'm sure we'll have many wonderful questions to ask the answer box. So Glowing Stars, I hope you're quite excited about taking the questions from the audience. Are you?
Yes, sir.
Great. So we've been getting a lot of questions. I hope you've been reading them. They're coming in the chat. We're also getting a few of them live on YouTube. So I hope to be picking up some of them from there as well. So again, from the YouTube live, one of them asked the question, how could you be so trustworthy so they trust you? I mean, we request you to think of the relevance to the theme. The theme is how they wish to own the word reliable. So the reason why the word trustworthy came up is they were questioned why they chose this word reliable and not any other word. They said if we are remembered as the most reliable company, people will trust us, right? So how do they get the trust of people, I think is beyond the scope of the current discussion. Yeah. Krishnapi, are we good to go?
Could you please ask Jagan Mohan sir to come to the breakout room?
Yeah. Jagan Mohan sir, if you could join the breakout room, Vidya would be happy to guide you, sir. Jagan Mohan sir, if you could join the breakout room, Vidya would be happy to guide you through the scoring process. Yeah. So while we get the program rolling, I wish to state the further rounds which are coming up. So the first round we're focusing on positioning. The second round we're focusing on thought leadership. Thought leadership is a futuristic marketing concept which a few brands are already investing on. So the teams which are coming in for the second semi-final will be discussing the topic thought leadership. And in analysis 3, we'll be looking at how to combine thought leadership and positioning. And in synthesis, we've given anecdotes of various CMOs and various marketing leaders, and the teams will be presenting how they wish to solve a few problems using these anecdotes of thought leaders, how they wish to use the wisdom of the thought leaders to solve a few problems. They'll be presenting that in synthesis. And once again, I wish to remind all of you that today is the birth anniversary of Jack Trout, one of the greatest marketing teachers and one of the greatest marketeers the world has ever seen. So he was the one who came up with this concept of positioning. So we thought it the best way to celebrate his birthday is to discuss positioning and maybe also combine it with a futuristic concept of thought leadership and maybe see how positioning and thought leadership actually go together, right? I mean, our organization Deep Thought is based out of Hyderabad. So in Hyderabad, we like combining things. We like our chicken, we like our rice, so we combine them and make a biryani. So we like, okay, we like positioning, we like thought leadership. Let's combine them and let's see what happens when you combine two different concepts to synthesize something new. So that's what we're doing today. So I think Krishnapriya will go ahead with the next round, and maybe the jury members who are joining in can just catch up in the future rounds. So now we're taking our audience questions. The first audience question which we're taking today is what brands would you want? I mean, so team Glowing Stars, you wish to own the word reliable. Would you want to collaborate with some other brands? Would you want to do any collaboration with other brands so you can own the word reliable? That's a question from one of the audience members.
No, sir, we will not collaborate with any other brand.
Okay, and if I may ask why?
Sir, because our app or our company which is there, we are telling them that we will give you jobs in other companies. So we want to create our own image. We don't want anyone's, we don't
So
want
don't you
any
think?
other brand to help us.
So don't you think some other established brands can help you in getting that image quickly?
Sir,
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 but
sir, like, sir, so like we are if we are a startup company, just starting up, and let us suppose there is a company who is well established with the word reliable. So there are some people who will like that company, and there are some people who won't like that company. So the people who don't like that company won't come to our app to try. But if we are a startup company and we are starting fresh, they will think that let's try this app because nobody is with us. So those people who are coming to us will be our own customers and not the customers of our collaborative brand.
Okay, one more question from the audience is, you said you will give an employment guarantee to appear reliable. You said you'll give employment guarantee to appear reliable. But there are a lot of other companies which are giving an employment guarantee. So what makes you think you'll end up owning the word reliable just by giving an employment guarantee?
because we are proving to them that we are not frauds. I mean, we are, if we are
But
guaranteeing them jobs.
there are a lot of reliable companies in the market which are
And
giving employment guarantee. How will you
yes,
stand out?
yes. Yes, sir. So the thing that
Yes,
I
sir.
thought for this one was that, sir, we are providing recorded lectures and we are helping those people who are not very experienced to get a certificate and then get a job, and
Yes.
not
So
many
if
companies have
they're
done this.
experienced and if they're experienced or not, that doesn't matter to us.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I wish to conclude the audience round. We request the jury members to score the quality of answering on a scale of 10 as per the rubric. We request the jury members to score the answer box for their answers. So after this, we shall be proceeding to the jury round. We're all quite excited to listen to the questions which the jury might have. So we all have been having a very spontaneous and nice discussion on positioning. But I'm sure the jury members who have been very experienced at positioning different brands and running different companies will have very focused questions to help us all understand positioning a lot better. And I'm sure they will have very nice words to share with you for the way in which you came out and handled a concept which even experts have difficulty in handling. So at this stage, while the jury members are still scoring, if any of the audience members wishes to reflect on what you've seen, we'll be happy to hear your reflection. Any of the
Sir,
audience members?
sir, my name is Mohammad Ayan Danish. I am from the team Science Panther, and I have seen a great improvement in myself by having some, like, if before I could think that if I would have a company, so how would I start? But now the deep thought is make me understand how to start a company easily and successfully, so your customers would be happy.
Okay,
I
great.
really thank Deep Thought.
I'm glad, Mohammed. So the key to marketing is, I mean, one concept of marketing is positioning, where you focus on one word, because customers today are looking at various companies and they're quite busy. So their attention is limited.
Yes, sir.
So we wish to own one word, continuously communicate one word to them. So when they think of that word, they think of us. So brands try to communicate one word. For example, at Science Session, we use the word research, research, research. So whenever somebody thinks of an educational company around research, they should think of Science Session. So it's very difficult to communicate a lot of things. So we focus our communication on the word research. So that way, most brands focus on one word and they try to own that word, right? So now I'm quite excited to listen to the jury questions and see how the students respond to the questions of the jury. Krishna Priya, are we good to go?
Sir, can we call that a word, punch word?
Sorry, can we call that?
Punch word.
Okay. Sometimes it could be, sometimes it need not be. I mean, it could be a part of your punchline. It could not. It may not be. Yeah, we will see
Yes,
that.
sir.
Yeah, we'll see that in the next break. After the jury round, we'll have a break, right? While the jury are scoring, we'll discuss this. It's a beautiful question you've asked. We'll discuss this. So, Krishna Priya, are we good to go?
Yes, Tarun.
Okay, great. So I request the jury members to come in with your
Sir,
questions.
I want to ask which
We will
how
take your
many
question in the next round, Amir. We'll definitely
no
take your question. We'll definitely take your question. Let's proceed. Right. So yeah, I request the jury members to go in with your questions.
I have a question for Glowing Stars. Great discussion so far. Good questions, great answers. For Glowing Stars, did you talk to any of your customers? Did you talk to anyone who's unemployed or is seeking employment in your research?
Just stating some context before they answer. This is a pure conceptual format wherein they've picked up a topic, they've learned the concept of positioning, and it's kind of like a case study discussion, right? So they've picked up a cause, they've picked up a word, and they're coming up with their idea. So they haven't really gone out and done some field study. They started working on it yesterday, actually.
Gotcha. Thank you. So my question was,
Deepak, beta, your word reliable.
Yes,
How
sir.
you wish to, I mean, send this message across.
Sir, can you pardon once because actually the voice cracked at my side.
Okay, you are using the word reliable. Nowadays, everyone claims reliable. How you wish to distinguish? Like, Tarun sir was talking about positioning.
Yes.
So everyone talks
So
of reliable. So how will you be different? Every brand says they're reliable, right? So how would you do it?
because not every company is every other. For example, if I give an example of a website, then that website is only giving the jobs to the people who are already experienced. They have the idea of the job, but they are still unemployed. But our company will give jobs to both the experienced and the non-experienced, and the non-experienced ones are also first trained by us, and then they are getting the opportunity for the job. And we are working as a bridge. The unemployed people is on one side, and the job or the company in which they will get the job is on other side, and we are acting like a bridge.
Deepak, are you planning to open a Finnish school kind of thing?
Maybe the word has to be broken down.
Okay, okay. I'll do that, Tarun. दीपक, आपने जो एक्सपीरियंस लोग हैं उनको तो आप कनेक्ट करेंगे कंपनी से, आप लाइक ए ब्रिड्ज बना के उनको नौकरी दिलवाएंगे. बट जिसके पास जो एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है उनको आप ट्रेनिंग देना चाहते हैं ना,
हाँ.
तो इसलिए आपको कुछ फिनिश स्कूल बनाना पड़ेगा ना, जहां
So
आप
may I
उनको
answer
जाएंगे,
this
आप
one?
ट्रेनिंग देंगे.
Are you going to have a school where they learn these? Yeah.
So may I answer this one?
Yeah, please, Himanshu, go ahead.
Sir, can I answer this one?
So you could internally decide, and one of you can go ahead. Yeah.
Tarun, am I coming to their level, Tarun?
They will raise to your level, sir. Now go ahead, answer.
Yeah, yes, sir. So, sir, what basically we do is the unexperienced people, we let them select a course. Like, let us suppose they are working on AI and machine learning. Let us suppose first they choose that they want to master machine learning, and then we will create courses according to that. Like, we will hire some teachers which will be creating courses like that, basically on that, and then we will tell the unemployed people to finish the course. They will get a certificate, completion certificate, and then that can be a proof that they have completed that course and they have learned that part.
Very good, but everyone will not be interested in AI related jobs.
Sir, I'm just
Actually,
giving
there
an
will be
example,
many
sir.
options.
Okay.
For the unemployed people, there will be a set of options.
There
They
will
can
be
choose it.
two options for the users. The users will have two options, and either they will pay some money monthly to get a job, or there will be a free plan. In the paid plan, we will guarantee a job in 4 months, and in the free plan, we will give the job, but it is uncertain. Might take a lot of
Sir,
time.
because in the paid one, there will be a one-on-one mentor who will train the unemployed person live. But in the unpaid one, they will actually get trained through the videos, which are
Recorded lectures.
pre-recorded.
Deepak, we have Yugandhar sir among us. Okay, Yugandhar sir is encouraging so many entrepreneurs. Just now, Tarun told us, especially rural entrepreneurs. So, beta, why don't you encourage some of the people who get in touch with us to become entrepreneur, so that they create jobs for others also? Have you thought about that, or you only want to provide jobs?
Sir, we
So
will definitely.
Deepak, the question is glowing stars. Glowing stars. The question is, you said you'll help them get jobs, right?
Yes.
The question is, would you also encourage them to become entrepreneurs so they can give jobs to people?
Yes, sir. Yes.
We have.
That's the amazing point you gave.
Sir, honestly,
Sir,
we have
sir,
not thought about that. But once the people get a experience, once they work in a certain company, they get the experience about how this business
yes.
companies actually work, and then maybe we will come up with an
There
idea with
might be a course on
another app.
entrepreneurship also.
Yes,
There
we
might
can
be a course.
definitely look into that also.
Yes,
Thank you
we
for
can
Very good.
actually, they can actually conduct classes on entrepreneurship.
If any of the other jury members have questions, we'd be happy to take your questions.
Hi, I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sure. So I'm going to give a little bit, just a small bit of back information to my question. So to me, positioning is about the stories that a brand can tell, and not only that, but the stories that a customer experiences and can share with others about their experience with the brand. So relating to the word reliable, what are some stories that your brand could tell in your marketing to show that you are a reliable brand?
Yes, so actually in our in
can show the success story of our company.
yes, in one of our positioning strategy is that in the online advertisements which occur, we will make such an advertisement which will be uh,
Showing
in
people who have
TVs.
got their jobs
Yes,
already
in
from
the
our ads.
advertisements,
Can one of
in
you
the
speak? Can one of
advertisement.
you speak? Can one of you speak? You can decide who's going to speak, and one of you can speak. One after
Okay,
the other.
sir.
One after the other.
So one of our strategic plans is that we in the advertisements we will show them some examples of the people who have used our app, and how they became a employee of this company. So we had thought of that in one of the positioning strategies.
Okay. Any of the team members wish to add?
No, so the same thing. We the document that we created, we actually mentioned that through
Okay.
advertisements, we will show those people who have already got a job from us.
Great. Arohi, would you want to add something?
No, sir, nothing to add.
Okay,
I
great.
am satisfied with the answers.
Miss Gail, would you have a follow-up question to that?
I do not at the moment, but thank you. I appreciate those answers. They were very nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
In fact, Deepak, you reminded me of a marketing concept called word of mouth. Very good.
Yeah. I request if any of the other jury members have questions, Mr. Mukund.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wanted to ask whether you want this app or this company of yours to be known as a training agency or like a organization that provides training, or does it provide employment?
No, sir, what our main motive is to provide employment, but sir, the thing is that it's the distinguishing part, that how are we distinguishing from others. So from that point of view, we thought that introducing this training part.
I think
Like,
Himanshu is having some network issues, so I can tell what he
Yes,
was telling that
coming
when
mute
we were thinking of
after
this app, we were thinking that there are many companies which are giving jobs to the people who are already trained. But what will make our company different is that we will also give employment to those who are not well trained, and how we will train them.
Yeah. Can I go?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. First, I need to.
Hello?
Yeah, I need to. Mighty thinkers. They actually started off with a fantastic question, well articulated question. But I don't know, Neha, at the second question, context setting, she was this thing. She was actually asking all these questions in her thing, in the context. Neha, I appreciate for asking a fantastic question to start the day. You actually asked why why should people believe in reliable, right? So that, having said that, with that fantastic Deepak, such a wonderful clarity you guys have, man, in your finishing school or training and all. You have used the word honesty so many times to honestly say that you are reliable. Right. So
thank you, sir.
after that, I'll tell you now. Now what happened, you are actually going to show that you are reliable. You are actually saying, boss, we'll also give try to help people who are not even qualified, to help them qualify, train them, and also place them to get that, and then that success stories I'll give to the market, is what you said, and you want to give them certificates and all. Fantastic. Fantastic. But reliability only for the employed, unemployed people, or reliability for the companies also? Why should companies take people from you?
Yes, sir. So that's why we thought of a certificate, so that we can prove to the company that yes, they are qualified.
Excellent.
They are using our apps to, get certificates.
Oh, they are using, okay, you will also want to establish the authenticity of your certificates, is it?
Yes.
Yes.
Super.
It is
Good,
a
guys.
AI based system which after looking at the performance of the unemployed person, it will create a certificate or it will create a
Yes,
certificate. Yes.
the
But
Big
why
Four
should
has
people believe
completed
your
this.
certificate?
Sir, now,
Sir,
sir,
can
we
you
are
Sir,
confirm
providing
but
one?
because
in the first
we
in
are.
the in the first try we cannot prove them, but after some people have already got their jobs and we show them in our advertisements, then
Yeah,
comes the
better
point when they
if you are
trust us.
talking this way, believe me, people will definitely believe you. You are reliable, right?
Thank you,
I
sir.
Yes,
mean,
sir.
walk. It is
Thank you.
walk the talk. You are reliable.
Thank
Fantastic.
you. Thank you.
Thanks, Tarun.
Thank you, sir. So we'll be closing the jury round here. I request the jury members to score the points for the team for their answers. If any of the audience wishes to state your observations, that'd be fantastic. If any of the Deep Thought curriculum team members, since you specialize in making these observations, if one of you can state your observations of how the dialogue was flowing between children and the jury members, it'd be nice to hear. Any of the curriculum members who wishes to articulate for us? Pravina, would you want to go in?
Yes, I like I said initially, I was curious of what their responses would be as the dialogue progresses. Right, initially we could see that they emphasized the cruciality of questioning to Socratic dialogue, but now I see that every response is also looked at as an opportunity to guide them to the mastery of the subject at hand. Why do I say that? It's because as the questions between the jury members and their responses were progressing, they were able to bring up new ideas to their company or thoughts. So they are arriving at the mastery of the subject at hand. So as much as the questions, so are the responses important.
Yeah.
Arun, the beauty of these kids is that they're open. I mean, it's not that they are fixed notions and all. They are willing to learn. They're willing to improve. That's a beauty. And that's what Yugandhar sir also was saying. It's good. I mean, this is the first time for me to interact with young kids. I mean, so many good thoughts and ideas. They would like to train and employ people, inexperienced people and all that. Great. May God bless them all.
Yeah. Krishnapriya, are we good to go? Or Krishnapriya, are you here? Vidya, are we
Yes,
good to
Tarun.
go? Are we good to go?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So now we'll be switching the answer box and question box. It's mighty thinkers in the answer box who will be presenting their cause, their word, and their positioning strategy. So over to you, mighty thinkers.
Yes, sir. So we have chosen
Can
wildlife
you read the
conservation
front?
as our cause. So because nowadays wildlife is getting endangered and some.
Yeah. So can you? Which is the word you have chosen?
Yeah. So the word which we have chosen, what to own, is beautiful part of the ecosystem, wildlife.
The word which you want to own is wildlife,
Yeah,
and
which
the
means
cause is,
the ecosystem.
what is the
So
cause?
the
Sorry,
word we want to own is beautiful part of the ecosystem.
Yeah.
that's not a word, right? That's a phrase, right?
Okay, we can short it down to beautiful,
Okay.
beauty.
Okay. You wish to own the word beautiful, and your cause is wildlife. Okay. What is your
Yeah.
positioning strategy?
A cause is wildlife conservation.
Yeah. Yeah. What is your positioning strategy?
Is conserving wildlife.
What is your positioning strategy? How do you hope to own that word beautiful when people remember you?
Okay, so we have given an example that not only humans we have feelings and emotions. We even wildlife have those feelings and emotions just like us. But and the cause where the wildlife is getting extinct or endangered is because of us. We are not.
No, but how are you? So when people think of you, why would people think of beauty? How are you owning that word beauty? How are you making sure that people associate you with beauty, your organization?
To make a big picture in humans' mind, we have decided to show a movie of where the earth would look without wildlife. And when people see that, they might wildlife include plants and animals. So when they see the movie without plants and animals, they miss out the beauty of our nature. And at the end, the action plan of us was this one movie, and where they'll realize that their mistakes. We would see we would give simple
Okay, we got your point regarding movie. So is that your only strategy, or
Sir,
and also yeah.
Yes, shall I continue?
Yeah,
Yeah,
please.
so also we also provide extra free trips to sanctuaries and etc., and they're absolutely free. And we have a professional guide also, which professional caretaker just beside, who is also guide and tells us about the animals and lets us touch these animals, and we
Okay,
can
so
actually.
you're creating an experience in the wild where people
Yeah,
you're giving a
yeah,
tour.
because
Is this
we.
yeah? So Neha, we wish to move on. So with
Okay.
we'll get to the core and move on. So any other activity? One is you said you'll show a movie. Second, you'll create experiences taking people in the wild,
And
and
we
then
also write a book,
you'll write a book.
animal
Okay.
encounters.
Anything else?
Yeah, nothing.
Okay, great. So the team is working on the cause of wildlife. They wish to own the word beautiful, and they have three strategies: a book, a movie, and creating experiences in the wild with a guide. And some of it would be free. Okay, so over to you, rising. Yeah, over to you, glowing stars.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So the question is that what would you do if the movie became flop?
Well, the main objective of the movie is to show the beauty of the wildlife only. So even though it became a flop, everyone would understand the beauty at least, and though they would know, they could also, if that becomes a flop, we have other paths
Okay, I
also,
think we
like a
got. I think we
book
got your
or.
answer. We got your answer. So they're saying the beauty will at least be conveyed even if the movie doesn't get
Yeah.
commercially successful. Over to your question,
So
boys.
I want to ask you that why should people just by seeing the movie do you think that the people will think that this company is saying the correct thing that we should save the nature? Do you think that just by showing the movie you can convey the message to the people?
No, we
Because
don't.
there
That's
have
why.
been many movies.
No, that is why we have also have other things like a book, like a experience. That I think we have main focus on the experiences, because a person gets to know only by experience.
No, what kind of experience?
As we told, we'll take them on a one-on-one trip, and they can touch the animals. They can even adopt them, and they can have fun with the animals and see how actually beautiful they are.
Yeah.
No, but just by seeing the wildlife sanctuary, the movie, and just by reading the
It is
book.
not basically a wildlife sanctuary. It is they can go actually and sit on it, like
Yeah.
elephants.
So here I have a question. What you told is that they can adopt the animal. So what if a person comes, adopts an animal, and then does potential, potential threat to that animal? What is the guarantee that that
Is it is
animal
it
will
is it
be?
is it relevant? Is it relevant to the theme of positioning strategy? They're talking of how they wish to own the word beauty. I'm sure the threat is real. I'm sure they have to do something about the threat, but is it relevant to the theme? Okay.
Okay,
I
sir.
wish to I
So
wish to I wish to close the bout here. I request the jury members to score the questions and answers. So, audience members, if you have some questions, you can send in your questions. The cause presented here is wildlife. The word which they wish to own is beauty, and they've stated three ideas to own this word. They wish to write a book. They wish to create a movie through which they show the beauty of wildlife, And 3, they wish to create multiple experiences in the wild through which people can actually understand the beauty in the wild. So they wish to own the word beauty, and they've come up with some ideas to own the word beauty. We request the audience members to come up with your questions. We'll be happy to take audience questions now. Krishnapriya, please give me a heads up once the jury are done scoring. Yeah.
I'll just be back, sir. Just a minute.
Yeah. We request the audience members to keep sending in your questions. We'll be happy to take some audience questions in the next round. Krishnapriya, please give a heads up
Yes,
once
I
we're
will.
good to go. Yeah. Would anybody have any observations to make in this round? Anybody from the audience who has some observations to make in this round?
కట్టయిపోతుంది whenever. Can you remove this computer?
Would anybody from the audience have some observations to state? Anybody from the audience, some observations or reflections?
Can I?
Yeah, please go ahead, Abdullah.
Sir, I want to ask that the project of the project, what is it about, or what is their idea about?
Yeah, Abdullah, it was just explained. They are working on wildlife. They want, and they're working on the cause of wildlife. They want people to see the beauty of wildlife and conserve wildlife. So, and their positioning strategy is around the word beauty, and they've come up with some ideas to own beauty. So any of the audience members, would you have some observations to share, what you've seen from the students?
Can I ask questions?
You can definitely ask questions in the chat. We'll be happy to take some of the questions in the audience round. So any of the audience members have some observations to make?
Tarun, we're good to go.
You're good to go? Okay. So I'm taking questions from the audience. I think the one question is kind of repetitive. Will people be convinced only by this? Okay. So in order for your positioning strategy to work, you need people to read your book, or you need people to watch your movie, or you need people to agree to come for the trip. How will you get people to either read the book or watch the movie or come for the trip?
So let it be one of them also. They would love the experience, that they would want to do another one. So that way they'll know the beauty of wildlife.
Yeah, but how will you get them to do that?
We would spread our message, like what we wanted to do as an action plan through newspapers, as articles, or we would make up advertisements,
commercials also. And we would also give out a lot of these slogan messages which are very empowering, that is small changes for big causes.
Yes.
That we have made up also. So we hope this quote would also empower empowerment a lot, and they would come to the app to actually come see the movie, or read the book, or come for the tour.
Okay, and if people don't like wildlife, what will you do?
Well, we would try our best to actually help them. If they write in this in the comment section, if they write anything that they don't like wildlife, we would actually give them a special free pass for everything, because that's what we're trying to do, conserve wildlife, and we would do anything to conserve. That's the main point. Not even money. That's why we're keeping everything free, and we would give them extra experience also.
Sir, actually, I wanted to ask a question. So
Can you send it in the chat? You can send it in the chat. We'll pick it up from there.
Because actually, I am from Mighty Stars. So can I?
Yeah, you still can. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and yeah, in the book and in the movie and in the experiences, what is the beautiful part? How will you ensure that all these will be remembered as beautiful?
So by seeing the wildlife, the sounds, the birds chirping, the elephants keeping water on them, seeing that, you'll become so calm, all your stress will go. You will know this is the beauty. This is the beauty of the world, wildlife. You would want to see more to relieve your stress. become peace to make it be peaceful. You would love the wildlife. That is what we would want to bring the change.
Okay, great. So we'll be concluding the audience round. We request the jury members to score the answers. Yeah. So while the jury members are scoring, if any of the audience members have some observations to share, if anybody has some observations or reflections to share, I think that will give all of us a perspective of what's going on here. Would anybody wish to share your observations?
Yeah, Tarun, can I go in?
Yeah, please, Shweta, go ahead.
Yeah, so I guess when we speak about this particular round where Neha's team has picked up the word called beauty and positioning. One of the things that I actually observed is that they kind of separated the kind of beauty how they wish to express to tell their stories in a visual aspect, as well as they are willing to write a book also about it. They are kind of trying to market the stories or network the stories in through different platforms. And I guess that is somehow, I mean, let us just put the results aside. I guess they're able to think it through multiple levels and actually kind of place their bets on things that could work. So that is one of the observation that I actually made.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody else? Krishnapi, are we good to go?
Yes, we are good to go.
Great. So at this stage, we are happy to take some of the questions from the jury members.
Mighty thinkers, generally it is said to see is to believe. Simply watching a movie, generic movie, or going through book, and nowadays, the book reading has gone down. Will it not be better, to select a small place, work on, what I call this conservation of animals and all that, how the entire ecosystem, gets transformed, and then let people come and see and get inspired. Like today, I came to know that there's a small village in Tamil Nadu where the Sarpanch, has taken initiative. All, they have pakka houses, solar power, etc.
Yes, sir. That is what we are doing. That our experience that we're going to give them, and the tour we're going to give them, that is actually from our own sanctuary, because we know if other people, other sanctuaries may not actually treat them that kind that we are looking for. The change that we are looking for is not there in those sanctuaries. So the forests which are there, we would also not try to build a new sanctuary and get the animals here and again force them to live here. The forest which is there already, we would make safe bounds there itself, and we would let the animals live in peace. If they, and like that time, even if they come, it is safe for the people. The animal wildlife is also happy, and we're not even destroying any
Keep your
other
answer
place.
short, Neha, so we can have a discussion. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Have you thought about finance? How will you go about?
We are like not only us who are working upon this, but around the world there are many people who want to conserve wildlife. So we would like to know who were they, and we would like to contact them. We would meet somewhere, we would sit, gather, discuss about how to solve this issue, and we all would find a solution for that.
Yeah, we can take one more jury question. So, Mr. Mukund, if you could take it from one of the jury members who didn't ask in the previous round, I think.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So we all love the dialogue, but then we all have to go back today. So I have the dirty job to do of cutting the program short. I apologize for this. If any of the jury members wish to go ahead with a question, we'd love to take your questions, especially somebody who's not asked in the previous round. Okay, if not, I'm sure we're happy to take Mr. Mukund's question now. Mr. Mukund, you could please go ahead.
Okay, this is just to add to some questions that I saw from the audience and all that. I don't know if it's been asked before, but how do you want to show the animals when you say beauty of the animal? Have you thought about whether you want to show the animal in its...
Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, sir. I just got disconnected.
Yeah.
Could you repeat?
So are you trying to showcase the animals as cute cuddly things, or as ferocious wild beasts that live in the nature, that live in the natural habitat? So if you're trying to kind of show them as, if you're trying to show the real animal as it is, I think the human beings have first to be sensitized to that's how the animal nature in the forest is, and we should be accepting of that. We should not make the animal. My view is that we should appreciate the animal for what it is, rather than trying to make the animal look soft, cute, and cuddly, so that we think it's nice.
So I would like
So
to
that's
say,
so. What is your view about it?
yes, sir. So I would like to say that beauty is unique. So
Okay.
when we look at a ferocious animal like a tiger, we look at its beauty, its braveness, its ferociousness, and we would feel pride. And when we look at peacock, it is not cuddly, but it is beauty. Its feathers, the colorfulness, and the way it dances in the rain. And that's why it's been chosen as India's national bird.
So
Beauty
Neha,
can
I
change
think I'm
everywhere.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'll have to stop this here. We have a hard stop here. So I request the jury members to score the responses. Yeah, and we'll be accelerating a bit in the second semi-final. So the two teams who've been shortlisted for the second semi-final, you'll have to be a little bit on your toes. Keep your answers and questions short. I hope you've gathered the format by now, right? So initially we're a little lenient just so that people get used to the format. But henceforth, I hope you can keep your questions and answers short. Krishna Priya, can you give us a heads up when we're good to go?
Yes, sir. I'll let you know.
Yeah. So any of the audience members, if you wish to articulate something which you observed so far, what you observed in the Socratic dialogue, anybody who wishes to articulate?
Could I go in?
Yeah, please, Amrita, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was very interesting how initially when they said, they wanted to position themselves around beauty, and then came up with a series of things, be it a book or a movie. And then, there was that interest of how do you get people interested in, forget about them appreciating the beauty, but then how would you get them to appreciate the movie or the book that talks about beauty? So it was like a second level, where they had to think about how would people be interested in the book or the movie. So again, that brought in a very interesting aspect, I thought.
Yeah. We request the audience to mute yourself if you're not speaking. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, Tarun, we're good to go.
Okay. So we'll be starting the second semi-final. Krishna Priya, can you announce the name of the members who are there in the two teams who are in the second semi-finals? Krishna Priya,
Yes,
can you get the names, please? Yeah.
yes. So in this second semi-finals round, we have Curious Minds and Concept Squad. So we have Curious Minds and Concept Squad.
Curious Minds, can you quickly introduce yourselves? Yeah. Curious Minds, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Could you all introduce
Yes, sir.
yourselves quickly, please? Could you all introduce yourselves, please? Yeah.
Sir, my name is Fahad Malik. I'm from class 7E, and I participated this competition as a member.
Yeah. Thank you, Fahad. Can the other team members quickly introduce yourselves? Yeah.
My name is Harjit Ahmed Farooqi, and I am from grade 7E. I am Pakistani, and I am from the school, city school.
Yeah. Anybody else from your team?
My name is Saeed Mohammed Atib, and I am from grade 7E. I study in the city school Gulshan campus, Boys, Karachi, and I am also a Pakistani.
Okay.
And I have participated in this contest as a member of the team Curious Minds.
Okay. Now over to team Concept Squad. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Heather Rizvi, and me and my team are from Karachi, Pakistan, the city school.
My name is Isa Raza, and I am with Heather from Karachi, Pakistan, and we all study in the city school Gulshan campus.
Okay, so I am Ali Bilal, and I'm from Karachi, Pakistan, from the city school, and I'm in the team from Concept Squad.
Okay. Thank you, Team Concept Squad. So Team Concept Squad will be in the answer box and the other team in the question box. So over to you, Concept Squad. Analysis 2 will be going in, which is your thought leadership strategy. So you'll be picking, define a business and think of an activity which you'll do to exhibit thought leadership. So what is a business which you thought about, Concept Squad?
The business which we thought about was about a shoe company, and as our business was of a shoe company, we constantly need new ideas to take over the old ones, and we also need an great organized efforts.
So what is your activity to demonstrate thought leadership? What are the activities you're doing, to execute thought leadership? Yeah.
Could you just repeat?
This is a question for discussion, Haider. I hope you're prepared. So what are the activities you're doing for thought leadership around this business of shoes? Yeah.
For it is the responsibility of the thought leader is to gather the opinions and for on the product or the company, and then build on those opinions to make your product and develop better quality content, so that people buys your product, and you are then well known and have better media relationships. It can be a great strategy. It can be a great
How are you?
strategy.
Well, Bilal. So how are you educating your audience? What is your thought leadership strategy?
For educating people.
So do you guys have a thought leadership strategy? Team Concept Squad, do you have a thought leadership strategy? I repeat, Team Concept Squad, do you have a thought leadership strategy? How are you making your audience care about your organization? How are you educating them? How are you?
For our customers or the audience, we are just a second. Sorry, just.
Team Concept Squad, I believe you've submitted your mind map. So could you quickly respond to the question so we can go ahead with the program? What is your strategy to educate your consumers so they care about your opinion?
Sir, we'll educate them about our how we are making our shoes and how like how we are providing them ease of footwear comfort.
Okay, thank you, Team
And
Concept.
we are also like educating them how like we made such great shoes and how we design basically our app so that we can have very easy
Thank you,
interference so that people can order.
Haider, thank you. We got your response. So over to the question box. Would you have some questions to ask? Question box. Over to question box. Do you have any questions to ask?
One moment, Tarun, can you disable screen sharing for everybody? There's been a disturbance on that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sir, something happened. I could not hear. Sir, did you say anything?
Nothing. Yeah. Over to team question box. Do you have some questions to ask? Question box.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah. Please go ahead.
I wanted to ask, since I didn't get their concept clearly, how are you relating thought leadership to your positioning strategies?
No. I mean, is that the theme? The theme is thought leadership strategy. Can our questions be focused on the theme? So the team has presented that their businesses, they're manufacturing shoes. So they wish to take the opinion of people and they wish to use that opinion to make better shoes. That's point number one. Point number two, they wish to educate people on how they make shoes and how their shoes are better. So these are some of the points they've stated. So do you have some questions to ask in response to this? Team question box, do you have some questions to ask?
Okay, I have a question. Why would people want to buy only your shoes?
I'm sorry, Syed, I think your question is not related to the theme. So can we please focus on the theme, which is thought leadership? Thought leadership, as what you've gone through, is to make your audience care about your opinion, right? To educate your audience and to make them care about your opinion. So they said they'll educate their audience about how their shoes are made and so on. So that's their thought leadership strategy. So do you have some questions to ask around their thought leadership strategy?
What
Yeah.
what if their strategy does not work? What is their backup strategy?
Yeah. So what if your thought leadership strategy, the strategy which you've articulated, what if it doesn't work? Do you have a backup strategy? Concept squad?
I don't really understand why like it can't work, because like we're just basically gathering.
Can you answer the question? Do you have a backup strategy?
No, we don't, because like the first one will definitely work. They can't be.
We got your answer. They feel the first strategy will definitely work. No backup strategy. Over to question box.
Yes.
How will you fund your company?
How is that related to the theme? So I think I'll close the bout. I request the jury members to score the questions and answers. Audience, if you have any questions, you can bring them in.
Sir, I have a doubt. Sorry, I have
Yeah,
a
Neha. Yeah.
yeah, sir, there the thought leadership strategy, how is it connected with their business?
No, but is that related to the theme? Does thought leadership necessarily have to be connected to their business? Is also a question you asked. But is it related to the theme? The theme is to explain their thought leadership strategy, right? So they've explained their thought leadership strategy. But anyways, if you can pose it in the chat, we'll probably take up your questions. We request the audience to pose your questions in the chat. So their business is around making shoes. So they wish to educate consumers on how they make shoes, and they wish to take the opinion of people, listen to the opinion, and make better shoes. So for the audience who just joined in, since the students seem to have some more scope for improvement in terms of preparation, I'm just articulating the questionnaire once again. So thought leadership, the definition given by the organizers was, if there's a company A and if there's an audience B, and if the audience cares about the company's opinion on a certain topic, that is when we believe the company is exhibiting thought leadership. When the audience cares about the company's opinion on a certain topic. So the question is, how would your shoemaking company demonstrate thought leadership? How would you get your audience to care about your opinion on a certain topic? So this was basically what they were supposed to be, presenting. So looks like there's still some scope for improvement. But having said that, we'll try and see how we can sustain a dialogue from here. Yeah, I think there are some audience questions coming in. Krishnapriya, are we good to go?
We are good to go through.
Yeah. So my first question for you is, how frequently can you take the opinion of audience, and how will you connect the diversity of the opinions? How will you factor in the diversity of the opinions, and how frequently will you take the questions of the opinion of the audience?
So, sir, when someone will enter our store or shop, when he's exiting, we'll ask for opinion, like how was his experience?
So how frequently would you take it as a question?
Sir, every once in a month, there's a specific day on which we will ask every single customer that has entered.
Once a month. Okay, once a month. How will you factor in? How will you factor in the diversity of the opinion coming in?
Can you just explain that a bit?
So there's a variety of opinion coming into you, right? How will you take that variety of opinion coming to you?
I think we'll just compile all the reviews, and then we'll just go through all of it, and then we'll make a thing that we have to improve this and we have to decrease this, we have to do this. So it can this.
Yes, like in general manner. For
1 minute,
example,
we got one response. That's good. So one more question is, you're talking about educating people on how your shoes are made. That would be advertising, right? You're calling it thought leadership, but wouldn't that be advertising, where you're educating people on how your shoes are made?
Sir, that's like thought leadership. We're just telling them how you can like how this words that how our soft shoes are made. So
But
we're just
you're selling your
educating.
products, right? You're talking of how your shoes are made. You're selling your products, right? How would that be thought leadership?
Sir, we can also talk about the facts about shoes.
Okay. And then different people have different opinions. How are you going to make a product that suits all of them?
Sir, we will check the variety of opinions to see like the patterns and responses. There's like a specific pattern in it, which means that there are generalized ones like improve. Like if they are not soft and comfortable, so they will be like make them more comfortable. Like multiple people will tell that in the opinion, so then we will improve on in that area, and that's how it works.
Sir, we'll go through their opinion and improve accordingly, like how we'll first go through and understand what their problems they're facing.
So I think, I think we get your response. So we request the jury members to score all the audience questions. We request the jury members to score the audience questions. Krishnapriya, please give me a go ahead once we good to go. Yeah. So any of the curriculum team members, you have any suggestions or improvement areas for the team, especially the one who's worked with Concept Squad? If you have some suggestions for them, because looks like they could work more on understanding the definitions before coming into the program. So any suggestions from the curriculum team?
Can I go in?
Yeah.
Right. So I was the one who actually was working with Concept Squad. So I just felt that while they were talking in the interview, they were much more confident than they are right
I mean,
now.
if you put the confidence aside, I think the definitions were
Yeah, the thought,
misunderstood.
right. The part where they were kind of delivering how to, like one question pointed out on the fact that are you advertising your product? Are you giving thought leadership content while you're talking about how to make shoes and not having a backup plan as well? I think the what is thought leadership? The definition, the core part of thought leadership was misunderstood a little bit. But even though I think that kind of a good save while the audience questions came in, so I don't have anything.
Krishnapriya, are we good to go?
Yes, Tarun.
Yeah. So
I would want to go first now.
yeah, we'll take one jury question in this round. So
No, it is not a question. Let the question be from jury. But I have become fan of this Rizvi guy from the last thing. Point one, Rizvi, talking about your product being making itself is a thought leadership because you are actually showing the world how elegantly you are making your products. How much is going into that and what kind of. And the second point, you're collecting opinions is a thought leadership. You are humble enough to actually accept opinions and articulate. Good or bad, leave it aside. You're actually collecting opinions. That itself is the thought leadership in your thing. I appreciate your answers, man. This is not a question, Tarun, but I did want to mention this point there for them to understand. You
Thank
can
you,
take a
sir.
question.
Thank you.
I'm sure your words would inspire them to continue these efforts. Thanks a lot, Yugandhar sir. If any of the jury members would want to come in with a question.
I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead, Ms. K.
Yes.
So I see your strategy is consumer driven design, taking input from your consumers so that you can adjust your product. So can you articulate your company's vision for the future of the industry as a whole? Because that's part of thought leadership, is a company affecting the industry as a whole.
Can you
So
elaborate a bit?
Can you elaborate? Yes.
Yes, I'll repeat the question one more time. Can you articulate, explain more about your company's vision for the future of the industry? So what would your company like to change about the shoe industry as a whole?
One of the main things that we don't see in very famous brands such as Nike and Adidas, they don't really take the views and opinions of the customers of their customers. Just make they they're like kind of bossy. They like do what they want to do. But what we want to change for the shoe industry as a whole is that we want to change it so that we take people's opinion and make sure that make people feel that their opinions matter to us. So that's that we want to change.
Wonderful. Yeah, they are kind of a little bit bossy. In fact, Nike's slogan is just do it. They're telling you to do it.
Yeah.
Right. So
that's kind of
your
bossy.
industry- Yeah, so your industry would want to take more input. I mean, your company would want to take more input from your consumers so that your consumers feel like they have control over the types of shoes that are being produced. And
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Yes, they have a little
We
importance.
want the customers to feel that their opinions matter.
Yes.
Thank you.
But Rizvi, I mean, I appreciate your competence, but that's what the marketers do. They do collect information. What the sales guy do here, they go around, seek what called feedback about the product, and then pass it on to operation people for improving the quality. So don't you think that existing companies they do that? In what way you are different? Because we are talking about thoughtful leadership, impacting I mean people's lives. Say for example, you go to craftsmen like Kanpur in India, where they make this Kanpur chappals and all that, provide some employment.
Jagan sir, we're running a little short on time.
Okay.
So I will, yeah. So we like to thank Ms. Gail for the wonderful question. I hope all the students are thinking about this question. If your company is exhibiting thought leadership, you also got to have a vision of how you're changing the industry.
Yes.
So for all the students on the call,
yes,
what are you doing to change the vision of the industry at large and not just your company? I think that's a beautiful question for everybody to think about. We thank the jury member for making us all think in this direction. So on this note, I would like to request a swap. So we'll now be having the question box into the answer box. So over to you. So team question box, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Syed, I can't see your team name here. What's your team name? Curious Minds, right? Yeah. So Curious Minds. So you get 1 minute for your presentation. What is the business you've picked and what is your thought leadership strategy?
Sir, can I tell?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, we are developing, sir, we are developing a robot manufacturing company which is helping us to do human activities at a low price. And our thought strategy is that uh, that that first we will provide them first we will provide our customers a free workshop about the benefits of our robots, and then we will educate them about the usage and how they can make our life better.
Okay. Anything else which you wish to add in Curious Minds? Okay, I think that's the presentation. So the team is working on a robotics company which wishes to help people in automating various things. So they hope to educate people on how to use their robots, and they also hope to educate people on how to use automation to make their lives better. That is their thought leadership strategy. Over to Team Concept Squad for your question. Yeah.
Okay, I want to ask a question, which is how do you exactly get the funds of all the free workshops and the robots that you're making?
So is that related to the theme? The theme is their thought leadership strategy, right? So how they hope to do thought leadership? So they're saying they wish to educate people on how they can use automation and so on. So can we
Okay,
get a
so
question pertaining to the theme?
So how are you going to attract people that are really not interested in robotics? Like they don't want to like have your workshop, and for example, if there are less people in your workshop because more people don't have interest in it. So can you tell how are you going to attract the most amount of people?
Yeah, we got your question, Concept Squad. Over to Curious Minds.
We will attract them by educating them about the benefits of our robots.
But like, what if they don't like? A lot of people don't show up. They're like very less, and we don't have like much funds.
We got your question, Concept Squad. Over to Curious Minds.
Sir, I didn't understand his
What
question.
if people don't even attend your workshops? Is his question.
Then we will convince them that our product is useful for them and that our product can be helpful for you.
What are you going to do if it fails?
Then we will have a backup plan that we can try to find a different way to approach them, and we will find a way to make them like robots if they don't like robots, and give them the good reasons that robots are good, because robots can be helpful for the future.
So why not like have people like have man force instead of robots? Why you just choose robots and not
Because
manpower?
robot cannot get tired, they can work for 24 hours, while humans get tired and they need to have weekends, while robot do not need weekends.
Rizvi, are we deviating from the topic? So their topic is how they wish their thought leadership strategy. So they wish to educate people on the importance of technology. So through the workshops, they're educating people on how they can use robots to make their life better. You asked a question of what if people don't show up. They said they'll educate them, they'll convince them. So I think I'll close the round here. I request the jury members to score the questions and the answers. If there are any observations which any of the audience members wishes to share, we'll be happy to hear. So anybody who wishes to share any observations here? Anybody from the audience? Anybody from the audience who's got some observations to share?
So I got an observation.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, the the answer box team, they answered most of the questions that the question box asked, and they answered in a more of a rapid fire round, and that was very exciting to watch at if they are not able to answer them, or what happens next. And they actually explained their what their strategy is very nicely, and they told how they would actually show thought leadership in that.
Yeah, thank you, Neha. Krishnapriya, are we good to go?
Tarun, just 1 more minute, I guess we'll be good to
Yeah.
go.
So anybody else who wishes to share an observation? Anybody else who wishes to share an observation from the audience?
Yeah, may I?
Yes,
Yeah.
please go ahead.
Yes. So what I observed that it is the responses and to each of the questions they tend to respond like we will educate them, we will convince them, but I mean they are not delving into uh, the unknown. I mean they are not uh, providing some and creative scenarios in which they can deal with that question. So yeah, that's a lack point that I felt.
Anybody else from the audience? Krishnapriya, are we good to go? Or?
Just a moment, Tarun. I guess.
Anybody else from the audience who has some suggestions or observations to make?
Yeah, can I go on?
Yeah, Shweta, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I guess the one of the prime aspects that people were coming back, I guess both the answer box and the question box at whenever they were answering was the audience, and they were kind of focusing about what the audience want, and whether the question that was raised, that which audience. I mean, we are primarily focusing on what kind of audience we are focusing on while we you know uh, exercise our thought leadership strategy, and also what are the opinions that we are caring for. So I guess that subtle aspect was also brought in. So that was one observation that I had.
Tarun, we're good to go.
Yeah. Audience, please send in your questions. We're happy to take your questions. So the first question, which is kind of a continuation of what you guys got in the first round, is how do you get people to attend your workshops? How do you get people to attend your workshops? You're educating people on how they can use technology, but how do you first get them to? Why would they attend your workshops?
Sir, by advertising. Sir, we will put up ads about our workshops, which will make them attend it, which will make them verified about them. So if they want to, they will attend them, and in those workshops, we will educate them about the benefits of our robots, which will make them buy them.
So why would people attend your workshops?
Sir, we could convince a
My
celebrity.
question is not how will you convince or something. My question is why would someone attend your workshop?
Because we will give them information about robots and how they can change the future.
Okay. So if somebody attends your workshops for 1 year, what impact do you hope to see within the person's life in 1 year?
Sorry, sir.
Sir, can you
Sorry.
repeat the question?
If somebody attends your workshops for 1 year, what difference do you hope to see in their life over the next 1 year?
They will accept that robots are helpful and they might even buy our robots because robots can help them with their daily life and
Yes,
make.
hopefully they will understand how many advantages can be provided by our robots, and hopefully they will buy them because our robots can make life a lot easier.
Okay, are you open to people who are not tech savvy? Can they also attend your workshops?
Sir,
Sorry,
people
what
who
is
are
it?
not what?
No, people who don't use much technology, people who don't use mobile phones or laptops and so on, are they allowed to attend your workshops?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, of course.
How will you cater to them?
We will help them learn the technology and we'll give them information and we'll help them understand and they might get convinced and they might get into technology. They might maybe get even a phone so that they can communicate easily.
Great.
And basically this is the duty of the thought leader, and he will be doing it religiously.
Great, great. Thank you, in Curious Minds. I request the jury members to score the answers. I thought that was a wonderful round of questions and answers. Anybody from the audience who wishes to state some observations?
I would like to go, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so from what I have observed, I think sometimes when we talk about thought leadership, we sometimes confuse it with advertising also. So while advertising is about how can we get people to understand our idea, thought leadership is not just about selling our product so that they can understand our idea. It is also about how people will get our intent and vision about our product, and that includes your own company and your own organization also. Also, I think from the past round, I also observed that as much as research is important in order to present your idea, it is also very important that how do we take our questions. So we can learn a lot from our questions also because they're eventually helping us to improve our ideas. Yeah, that's what.
Thanks, Anshu.
Also, yeah, one more thing I would like to say that while we can always think that our idea is good enough to go, one should always think about plan B.
Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you. I thought this team was very quick and very spontaneous, so a lot of wisdom may have come in and gone very quickly. So, but I hope it's nice to see people sending in their observations in the comments on the WhatsApp group. So we see that the team has had a lot of aphorisms coming away. Krishnapriya, are we good to go? Vidya, Krishnapriya, are we good to go?
Yes, Tarun, we are good to go.
Okay, thank you. So now we are happy to take some questions from the jury. Anybody who's not asked so far, if we could, we would probably want to start with the jury members who've not got a chance so far.
I could go.
Yeah, Ms. Deepika, please go ahead.
So great discussion so far. Great Q&A. So in a time where, because of the pandemic, unemployment is on the rise, what thought leadership attributes can you exhibit in order to convince people that robots are a good idea versus going with manpower that's available and unemployed?
Team Curious Minds, did you get the question?
Yes, sir.
To shorten that, how will you display thought leadership in convincing people that robots are a good idea in the times that we live?
Robots can actually increase the amount of people who work, and it will, because of the maintenance of the robots, because it will need a lot of maintenance because it's not a natural thing.
We will use thought leadership in a way that we will educate them about the benefits of our robots, not only our robots, but how the abilities any robot can do will help them in their daily lives.
But Syed, the specific concern is when we're worried about unemployment, especially during the pandemic time. Wouldn't people be worried that robots would lead to more unemployment?
No, it will actually increase employment because the people who are buying robots, we will actually maintain them through the app. That's why we will be needing many people for different jobs, and it will actually help the employment rate.
Yes, sir, it will not lead to unemployment because you need people for maintenance of robots.
I think we got your answer. Over to Ms. Deepika.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Would you have a follow-up question?
Was that for me, Tarun?
Yeah, if you have a follow-up question, we're happy to take one more question from you also.
No, that makes sense. Like, as long as you're creating that environment where it's not threatening, and that's what the team sounds like their strategy would be, where they can showcase that even if there are robots, it's gonna have its own byproducts of creating jobs and finding newer places for people.
Yeah, thank you. We are happy to take more questions from the jury. If any of the other jury members have a question, we're happy to take it. Would any of the jury members have some questions?
Yeah. What do you think would be the most appropriate way to create thought leadership in this case? Would you think of making videos or movies or writing articles in the newspaper or radio ads? Because you've got to reach a variety of people, right? Both in the rural part of the country as well as the urban part of the country. So how would you cater to educating everyone, or would you just focus on a certain set of people first and then go to others, or do you have any thoughts around that?
Sir, we will probably go to one group of people first, which could spread their ideas to other people, and then we can also focus on other people. This will help increase the efficiency of our lessons given by us, and we can also examine thought leadership by conducting seminars, by videos, and by videos.
And also by using streaming services that help us put live sessions where people can ask and answer our questions, or even send their opinions or views about their robots.
Yeah, we're happy to take more questions from the jury. Would any of the jury members have a question? We're happy to take a question from the jury.
Yeah. Just as a follow-up, would you prefer to start from, let's say, towns and cities, or would you prefer to start from the rural areas? What do you think about it, to start educating people and to build your level of thought leadership?
Sir, I think we would probably start from cities and countries because people in cities and countries would most likely be able to afford our robots.
Okay. But if there's a large rural population who would want to have that as well as can afford it, wouldn't you be missing out on them?
Sir, if they want a robot, then they can contact us through the app. We have also created a mobile app for the robots. They can contact us through the app, and then we can give them live sessions of answers and questions.
Okay.
We request the jury members to score the answers.
Fantastic spontaneity. Yeah. Anyway, scoring happened. Okay. I just want to say the observation. Fantastic spontaneity.
And I believe that is clouded by the fact that the responses didn't seem very eloquent, but they were actually very articulate.
Not only articulate, they picked up words from the entire session now to articulate those answers.
So there's a lot of learning.
There's a lot of learning which is happening. I'm very happy to be with these people now. Fantastic, actually.
Tarun, we're good to go.
Yeah. So, do we have the names of the two teams which have made it to the final? So, I believe Vidya's sheet would give us a total. She's already optimized it for that. Okay, so we'll probably need a quick minute before we total the scores, before we get it from the Google sheet. Any observations which somebody has? Any observations from the audience? Generally, a thumb rule I have as a moderator is to shut up. So, but I have so many things to say, but I'm happy to listen from the audience. Any observations? Because I thought this was amazing, whatever we just witnessed. Anybody from the audience?
Yeah, I would like to go ahead, Tarun.
Yeah,
like sir pointed out, there was extraordinary spontaneity, right? Initial part of the discussion, we were focusing on the word assertion, right? How do we beautifully assert our ideas into discussion? Now here we had questions of why, we had questions of how, and but these were the questions drawing out ideas. Because there were instances where whenever they were probed about the future implications of their products, they could come up, a troubleshoot experience was sort of created. And when we see responses like we observe patterns of opinions and then we would like to act upon them, you see that, they've obtained the skill of asserting their ideas into discussion. So yeah, I'm curious to see what more can happen now.
Yeah, Krishnapriya, you could help Vidya in tallying in, because we've had a few more jury members joining in, right? So she'll probably need help in assembling all of that together. Anybody else has some? Yeah.
So we have glowing stars and curious minds who've made it to the final.
Okay. So glowing stars and curious minds. So yet again, we are up for an India-Pakistan final. This time with more love and more affection. So yeah. So curious minds and glowing stars. So we'll have since curious minds were already in the answer box, so we'll probably give them some rest and let them take the question box, and glowing stars into the answer box. So we're moving into analysis 3. So we'll not be having audience around here to expedite the process. So we'll only be taking questions from both the teams to conclude the program. So team glowing stars, you're supposed to present your mobile app and how you're executing some of the processes articulated to you in the questionnaire. Are you ready, glowing stars, for your analysis 3?
Yes, sir. Just a second. One of my fellow teammates, Himanshuja, is just going to present in a while. Just a second.
Deepak, how confident were you to that you will come to the final?
Sir, in the beginning of the session, which started today morning 11:30, when I was seeing everyone's answers, how they were interacting.
We request you not to share the screen. We request you not to share the screen. You can be more spontaneous. You can explain it, right? So yeah.
So we can go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
We can go ahead, Tarun. We can go ahead with the process.
Please go ahead. Please explain your response.
Yes, so going with the app, what we have thought, as we explained earlier also, so sir, we will be serving two type of customers: the one who will be having experience and the one who won't be having experience. So first we talk about the persons who have experience. So the persons who have
How are you?
experience.
Yeah, I think we got your problem statement. Your app is solving the problem of unemployment as stated in analysis 1. So
Yes.
what are the processes explained in the questionnaire which you're bringing into this app? So positioning, thought leadership, some concepts were explained to you in the questionnaire, right? So what are the processes you're bringing in and how are you bringing
Yes. So the positioning was that the people who are untrained people, or who are not experienced, they are getting a chance to prepare themselves. They are getting a chance of getting a certificate. So that way we are getting positioning there. We are standing out of the crowd of normal employing apps, or the websites who employ people. So this way we are giving a chance to them that they can prove themselves, or they can get a certificate to get a job.
What is the positioning strategy here?
So sir, so the positioning strategy is that we are providing certificates, and we are giving lectures and courses and one-on-one mentor to the persons who are not
Got it.
who are
So what is your
actually
thought
not
leadership strategy? What is your thought leadership strategy?
experienced.
We heard your positioning strategy in analysis 1. What is your thought leadership strategy? What is your thought leadership strategy? Are they stuck?
No, sir.
Strategy is
Sir,
such
the
that
thought.
conduct seminars.
Yes, so we are actually conducting seminars that there will be two type of seminars, sir. For
Hello?
thought leadership, we are.
Yeah. Okay. Now, how are you combining your positioning strategy and thought leadership strategy? That's the theme, right? How are you combining your positioning strategy and thought leadership strategy?
Yes, sir. So, sir, the thought leadership is that we are announcing two types of seminars. The one is the seminar like Steve Jobs did. He launches his products to the people, to the public, to the general public, sir. So we got inspired from there, and we are launching public seminars that will, you know,
And sir, yes,
explain our
and in
products.
the yeah, and in the not only the products in the seminars, as we all know, what is the role of the thought leader? So in the public seminars, our thought leader will educate and aware the people.
Okay.
He will tell the people how employment can lead to the empowerment of them as an individual and also for the country, so that people don't ignore this topic. They get to
The
and
thought leaders will influence, encourage, and help the employees think in a more productive way. Actually,
yes, there will also be seminars conducted in the office, the company office, so that in the seminars happening inside the office, a thought leader can share their experience and interact with the different employees, so that he or she can influence, encourage, and help the employees think in a more productive way, which
Thank
will be
you.
better for the.
Yeah. Thank you, Team Glowing Stars. I thought that was a brilliant combination of positioning and thought leadership. Now over to Team Curious Minds for your questions.
I have a question. Since because of the pandemic, most people are not are really scared of getting out. So, is there any way in your mobile app can a person take classes through your mobile app and also
Is
get
it
a
is it is it
certificate
one
through
minute,
your
1 minute?
mobile app?
Curious Minds, is this question connected to the topic of how they're combining their positioning strategy and thought leadership strategy? Is it related to the theme? Is your question related to the team?
Sir, it is related to the mobile app.
No, but is it related to the theme? The theme is how you're combining your positioning strategy and thought leadership strategy.
Okay, sir. Then I have another question. That how are they positioning in the market?
Okay, but they've already explained their positioning
Yes,
strategy, right? So do you have any question in response to how they're combining their positioning and thought leadership strategies? They said their positioning strategy is to say that even people who are not experienced are getting a job. Am I correct?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
that's their positioning strategy, and they're being reliable. Their thought leadership strategies, thought leaders are coming in and are encouraging people to train themselves, so they're empowering not just themselves but the
And
country.
sir, they're even encouraging the employees who are working on the app. They are getting motivation from the thought leader who are expertised in their own fields.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
This is
So
how
this way, both
in
of them are helping. Both
yes,
positioning strategy and thought leadership strategy are
Yes,
helping
sir.
each other.
yes,
Is their response? So,
yes.
do you have any questions
To make
pertaining
our
to how they're
company
combining both? Yeah, curious
So,
minds.
so
Yeah.
what if their positioning strategy doesn't work? What will they do next?
No, how will
Sir,
it
can I
not
ask a
work? Can you just
I mean,
in what
can I
I
ask a
think this
question?
question, was already asked in the first semi-final. I hope we've been participating actively. So, you have any questions pertaining to how
Sir,
they're
can I
combining
ask?
this both? Yeah, please go ahead. But the theme is how they're combining their positioning strategy and thought leadership strategy. Yeah.
Sir, what if the positional strategy won't work? What will they do next?
no,
Fahad,
no,
I hope
how
we've been
won't it
listening.
work?
1 minute. I hope we've been listening. The question was already asked. And it was already asked in semi-final 1. The theme here is how the positioning strategy and thought leadership strategy are being combined. I'll give you one more chance if you have any question pertaining to how they're combining both.
Sir, can you give us 1 minute?
I thought that was very
Sir, can
beautifully
I ask?
articulated. Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, how your thought leader convince people? How will he convince people?
actually the work of the thought leader is not to convince the people that in our company the thought leader is just using the seminars. In the public seminars, the thought leader is just going to aware the people about the importance of employment by giving real life examples and how how important how important a
How
simple
art
employer, how
Just
important is a
like
simple employer to the country's empowerment.
just
What
like
Okay, we
will
got
it
your
bring?
answer. We got your answer. Over to question box.
So what if people don't come in your seminars? How will you educate people that don't come in your seminars?
No, because the first thing that we mentioned is that in COVID, the people are losing their job. So if they are not coming to our, because we are running advertisements also. So it is not that people don't use social media, they don't use TV, they don't see ads. So we are running those different things. So indirectly they have to see, and if they are interested, they will come.
Yes, because if they do want
I
a
think we got.
job,
We'll take
yes,
one answer from the team.
yes,
Yeah,
okay,
over to
sir.
question box. Yeah.
What if someone is not
Uh,
Okay, so
what if
in
someone
your
does
answer,
is not able to understand the language that you're using and
No,
he's
no.
from a
So,
different
so there are our thought leaders, right? So our thought leaders are there, and for this thing we can provide a document also. People won't come like that. We are going to provide documents, and if they want it translated, we can give them the document translated in their own languages.
And also the seminars are going to be conducted regularly in different languages. different parts. So according to that part of the country, one common language will be taken, and that will be spoken by the thought leader. And if in case there are some exceptions, right? So there can be, so for that there will be some documents
Our
of,
support
there will be
assistants will be
recordings,
there.
and yes,
I
They
think
yes,
will
in
be
our app
translating
also.
the language which will be needed.
we'll conclude this round here. We request the jury to score the questions and the answers. It'll just be one round in this final. So we'll move to the next team after this round. Yeah. Any observations by anybody in the audience before the jury members score this? Any observations from the audience?
The
Yeah.
positioning is so great that there is lack of questions from the curious guy. I mean, to articulate questions, they were actually a little challenging, but still they have overcome that. So, ठीक है.
The curious minds found it difficult.
So they were curious, but not extra explorative
As
kind
they
of.
say, the immovable force, the immovable object found the infinite force.
Uh, but fantastic positioning actually.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Anyway,
you.
you will have your choice now to question them.
Krishnapriya, good to go?
Yes, Tarun.
Okay. Now we'll move to synthesis, the last part of the program. Curious minds, one of the CMO anecdotes, you were required to pick up one or more of the CMO anecdotes and use that to solve the one of the problem statements given to you. So which anecdote have you picked and what problem have you solved? You can go ahead with your presentation. Over to you, curious minds.
Sir, can you repeat the question again?
This was a part of your questionnaire, so you can present your synthesis here.
Sir, the synthesis or the analysis 3?
Synthesis.
Okay, sir. Sir, in the synthesis, we will be focusing on the executing 0 to 1 innovation as our idea of our robots. Uh, our idea of the robot we have invented is not very common in the current market norm. So, but we still want to make people's life easier with the help of our robots.
So what is the CMO anecdote you've picked to solve this problem statement?
Sir, the quote?
Yeah, yeah.
Sir, as J. Bear said, a thought leader is someone with proven expertise and experience who isn't afraid to share with the world without direct compensation.
Okay,
So
so
we will
how are
con-
you? Yeah, yeah.
so we will consider this thought leader wisdom. We will consider this thought leader wisdom as our thought of launching robots does not exist in current market norm very often, so we might face many hurdles. But we will hire a good CTO and a good CMO, which will help us to overcome all the hurdles and achieve our goal. The main point we took from this quote that being a good leader being a good thought leader, we should not be afraid to share our ideas with the world because until unless we will not share our ideas, we will not get to know the outcome. We will not get to know the reviews of other people about them. And as we learn from our mistakes, it's okay for us to make mistakes as long as we learn from them. There will be other problems as well, other than the acceptance of people, such as budgeting issues and lack of communication or unrealistic deadlines. So, keeping all these things in mind, the CTO we hired, will help us to complete the execution of project from 0 to 1 innovation. And
Thank you,
mistakes
Sayed.
will happen
Yeah.
because we are making a new futuristic advancement.
Thank you, Sayed. I thought that was a wonderful presentation, possibly the best of the day. Over to Glowing Stars for your questions. Yeah.
Yes. So the first question that I would like to ask is that you said that your CMO, thought leader, and CTO are going to work together, right? So that we can find a permanent, so that we can find the solution. So
No,
can you?
we didn't say that our CTO and CMO or thought leader will work together. We just said that a good CTO and a good CMO will help us overcome the hurdles we are facing and achieve our goal.
How will
No, but
they work?
They
yes,
will work on their
because
own
they
field.
all will give the opinions. So how are you going to link all that to
Yes, wouldn't there be a
find a
clash?
solution?
How
Yeah,
is it?
how
How is it?
you
How is
link?
your question related? Because their question was they had to pick up a CMO anecdote and they had to explain how they would synthesize that idea to solve their problem, right? I mean, how they synthesize a solution to this problem of 0 to 1 innovation. So they said they looked at this quote that they should not be afraid of communicating with the world, and they would want to hire a good CTO who will overcome this problem, solve it, and they'll communicate with the world to understand what the world thinks about it. This was their response. So, do you have any question to how they use this quote to solve the problem of 0 to 1 innovation?
So in the previous the semi-final two, I heard that they were telling that I think this was the team that they were telling that they will take questions from the public and then they will improve their products, right?
But how is that relevant to the current theme here? If you can state the relevance, you can go ahead with your question.
No, sir. What I was asking is that how many people can they serve in one day, sir? Because I heard that they were telling that
But
there
again,
will be.
how is it relevant to the theme? Relevance is what I'm asking. The theme is how they've used this idea of not being afraid of sharing their ideas with the world. So that idea they've demonstrated how they'll utilize it in their business. So do you have any question pertaining to what they've said?
Okay, so the quote they used, okay, so they were telling that the CTO will basically help them, right? CTO. Do I basically mean that do you have any plan B? Because maybe all the questions are not answered and all the problems are not solved. The CTO is helping you, and what if that help fails?
They mentioned what was the core point they took from the quote. So do you have any question pertaining to that? Because looks like this is tangential to the point.
If you can repeat the quote once, then it will be helpful.
Yeah, so can we listen a little carefully? I request Team Curious Minds to repeat your presentation. So Team Glowing Stars could listen a little more carefully.
Sir, we will be focusing on the executing 0 to 1 innovation as our idea of introducing robots which help us to do human activities is not very common. You don't find that in your everyday life. But we still want to make people's life easier with the help of our robots. So first we will provide them a free
What
workshop.
is a quote you've taken, and what is and how are you utilizing that wisdom to solve your problem? Yeah.
So what do you mean by what is the court you have taken?
No, you have
Syed,
taken
Syed,
a
please.
vision.
No, 1 minute,
So
1 minute,
Thought leader.
1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, guys. Relax, relax. Syed, please take over. Yeah. Yeah. Syed, you stated that CMO quote, right? And you presented it. Can you please complete the presentation, Syed? Yeah.
Okay, sir. Sir, as Jay Bear rightly said, a thought leader is someone with proven expertise and experience who isn't afraid to share it with the world without direct compensation. So we will consider this code, this thought leader wisdom, as our thought of launching robots that help us to do human activities. It doesn't exist in current market norm, and that's why we might face many hurdles in doing this, but we will hire a good CTO and a good CMO which will help us to overcome all these hurdles and achieve our goal of selling our robots. So the main point we got from this quote is that being a good leader or thought leader, we shouldn't be afraid to share our ideas with the world, because until unless we will not share them, we will not get to know the outcome of them and the reviews of different people about them. And as humans learn from their mistakes, we will make mistakes as well, and we will learn from them and try to improve our robots in any way possible. Other than the acceptance of people, there are other problems such as lack of communication or budgeting issues, and maybe even accountability or unrealistic deadlines.
Sayed, I think we'll stop this here. Yeah.
Yes.
So Team Glowing Stars, I hope you got the wisdom they've
So
taken and how they're solving the problems. So you
yes.
have any questions pertaining to this?
How
Yes.
would
So
you
you have
solve other problems like lack of communication? Like you also have to solve those problems though.
Now, is this relevant to the theme again? I still would ask you the same
So
question.
you have taken the quote from a thought leader, and you have taken the idea that you should not give up, and then you are going to take help from the CMO and the CTO. So can you just explain that, because the CMO and the CTO are two different jobs. So how are they both going to help you to follow the path of a
uh, they will they will be working on their own separate fields. The CTO will take care of the technical fields, and the CMO will take care of the realistic marketing side. That's how they will help us.
so how are you going to link that together? That's my question.
We won't. I never said that the CTO and CMO will be working together. I never said that.
No, not working together, but they will help you in their specific fields. Then how are you going to cope up with that, and how are you going to come to a uh, overall solution and interpret that?
I don't understand your question.
So he's saying, how are you going to connect both of that together to make sure that your problem is solved? Both of them are doing their work
Yes,
individually, right?
and
How will you connect? Yeah.
they're moving towards the same product. So how are they going to contribute towards the product, and then how are they going to help each other moving the product towards the greater heights or the product better?
CMO will be the CMO will be in charge of the marketing department, which will help them market their product about robots, and the CTO will be in charge of the technological department, where he will help in the technology part.
Yeah, but at one point they need to come together
Yes,
to
but still
cooperate with each other.
our question is not answered.
All the things, or both the things, the CTO and what the CMO will be doing are interconnected. So the thought leader, the thought leader will convince the people. So the thought leader will help them, will help us to lead the 0 to 1 innovation, and will automatically convince people.
No, but the question is not how to convince people. The question is how are you going to cope up how are you going to find one relevant solution by getting by getting the two solutions from and CTO, because they both are giving the solutions in their specific
And you told
field.
that they
You have
won't
to
be
find
working
a
And
together.
common
One at once,
yes,
one at once, one at once, one at once, one at once. Yeah. Over to Team Curious Minds.
So for the betterment of the company, we will make the CTO and CMO work together.
But you told that they wouldn't be working together. When Deepak said that how are they going to work, you said
We
that they
got your
will.
question. We got your question. We got your question. Over to Curious Minds.
Now, in the case that you defined, they will be working together. But
Deepak asked the same question before
Let
and you
them
didn't.
complete. Let them complete. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Hayat, please complete.
no, you don't understand me. I'm not saying they will be working together. I'm trying to say that for the betterment of the company, they will be working for one cause.
That we understand, but how are they going to, cooperate with each other? Because you told that the CMO will be working differently and the CTO will be working differently. You
Yes.
told now that they
We
will
got your
never
question.
work
We got your
together.
question. We got your question.
Who will
We've
give
been
the
hearing it.
slots?
We got your question. We've been hearing it for
Who
the last
will
5 minutes.
try
Over
to
to yeah,
work on it?
yeah. Syed, would you want to take this?
No, they
CMO.
they won't they won't be needing to work together. They will only be needing to work for one cause. They will perform themselves
I,
at
I
their
I
own
wish
fields.
Yeah, I wish to close this round because I leave it to the judge's discretion over whether the question was even relevant to the theme. I leave it to the judge's discretion, but I wish to close the round here. I thought it was a wonderful round of questioning and answering, but how relevant was it to the theme? I leave it to you to decide. So, uh, yeah, I request the jury members to score the questions and the answers.
I have a curious question for curious minds.
Yeah.
Because yesterday I faced this question from somebody I talked to. So the question is, you are working with the great thought leaders quotation, fine. What if your ideas which are shared to the public are copied and they overtake you? Somebody asked me yesterday.
And
They
then
said
somebody's
we. Somebody asked me yesterday saying we are thought leaders in this domain. We'll have to share everything to the public. And that person actually told me Toyota shares everything to the public, so they became thought leaders in the that area. So that was the discussion I had with them. Now, curious minds, if you are sharing everything based on the other thought leaders inspiration, what if that company copies you? Are you okay with copying you and then moving over you, or do you have some other plan in such instances?
So what do you mean by copying? Copying the thing, the robot itself, or our idea, or our vision?
Yeah, copying your idea, copying your robot, copying your everything because you're sharing it to the public, right?
They won't be able to do that because our robot will already be patented, and they won't have a chance. And if they do that, then it will be like they're going against the laws.
So you are not transparently sharing everything to be a thought leader, right? The thought leader you quoted is wanting you to share everything. So now you are saying we'll not share part of the story, but we'll share some part of the story.
Sir, first we will take a copyright and then we will share with the public.
Excellent. I
Public.
But
mean,
what if people partly modify your thing and then still use it? Then the copyright won't work, or your patent won't work.
But they cannot copy all of our designs because if we become successful,
Oh,
then
okay,
our
what if people copy? The question is, what if people copy?
Yes, sir. That's what I am saying. We will take a copyright and then we will share it
No,
with
my
the
question is,
public.
what if people copy? So you'll sue them in the court.
yes, sir.
Okay, but
but
what if they slightly modify it and copy? In which case, you can't win in the court.
Then, sir, we will make more unique things and
oh, very
copyright.
good. So you, as a
Yes,
thought
sir.
leader, you will bring in innovation, right?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
If they're copying our things and making them better, then let us not forget we have the mobile app in which people send their reviews and improvements which could be added in our robots every day. We can take them and add those improvements.
One
So
question I have for you is, if people copy you, would you be happy that people copied you as a thought leader?
No, sir.
No.
Yes, sir, in
Yes,
a
sir.
slight way because it will be a
Yes, sir.
trend and we will be the people who brought the trend in the market. And
Imitation is the best this thing for
Form of
anything
flattery.
Yes,
for
sir.
we will
flattery,
We
right?
still,
will be happy because that will mean we are inspiring other people.
Okay, right. But having said that, but there is a cardinal rule that you should be very good in strategy. Because if you are really great, if people really copy you, then there will be a lot of problems that come in because of that. Normally, what happens is there is this how, why, what. So people only share what. People only share what in terms of frameworks or whatever this thing and all. But how and why people normally don't share. So you will have to do the deep thinking. This is next level of deep thought. So this is what we were discussing yesterday with the person I was talking to. I mean, it was Tarun who was actually talking to me yesterday. So, ठीक है. I mean, I just wanted to share this. This was
Yeah.
interesting. Thank you.
Syed, I'll just take 1 second.
Sure, 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 sure.
Syed, really, I'm impressed with your presentation. But one observation you mentioned in response to a question that your CTO and CMO will not, work together. How can it be? Yeah? And these are the what called marketing guys, what called, who give the feedback about the people, how they are responding to what called this thing, so that on that basis, the CTO will work. Now, Yugandhar sir can correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm not wrong. Steve Jobs and what called the design head, they used to what called walk together during lunchtime. And Steve Jobs used to what called share his ideas, the likely product he would like to bring out. And the design, what called head, used to work on that. But after the new CEO, what I call, joined, I stand to be corrected. Within 2-3 months, what I call design executive, what I call, he resigned because he was giving more. The new CEO was giving more importance to the operation part rather than the design part.
Sir, actually, if I got him correct, he was very clear in the way he articulated it. He said the CMO and CTO would be working on the common cause while they would individually be working on their individual goals. They're there in the company to serve different goals while they'll all be working on the common cause, was his response.
Sir, the CEO gives technical solutions, whereas the
Deepak,
CMO gives
Deepak,
marketing solutions.
Deepak, your question was under fantastic question actually. The confusion here is whether they will be working from the same building or will they be working from different places. That was the thing. Okay, theek hai. When they grow to CTO, CMO level, they are cardinal. They are expected to work for the organizational objectives. Cardinals, right? Otherwise, either you fall in line or you fall away from the line. That's how it works out when it comes to that top level. So both your questions are right. It's only that communication that is there.
I'm sure we'll have many more. I'm sure we'll have many more threads to take over from here. But since we're already overshooting on time, I request all the jury members to state your observations, what you saw in the format. So I'm sure your perspectives would help the students, would help the teachers, and also help us, the organizers. So we look forward to hearing from the jury members now.
Sir, can I add a point to the previous question?
You can do it through chat, Syed. We're a little running out of time, so we want to hear all the jury members now. So you can send it via chat if that's okay. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Arun, this is my first, thanks to you and Krishna Priya. This is my first opportunity, especially interacting with Yugandhar sir and what other jury members and all that. Such a young age here. In fact, I was a development banker. I never thought that, these young brains, will have such fantastic ideas. I'm sure, if they can fall into the hands of, Yugandhar sir. So I see what a great, not simply entrepreneur, but a social entrepreneur. They love to make their people's life, easy. I'm really, may God bless them all here. I really enjoyed listening to these people. Okay, they need some counseling, some mentoring with people like Uganda sir is around. I'm sure they are going to work on enrich their respective countries around. And I congratulate you and your team. This is an excellent, fantastic platform. I'm sorry for the first time I got exposed to it, and thank you very much for making me part of this.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, plus one to that. My first time too, and huge kudos to Tarun, you, Krishna Priya, and the team for organizing and giving kids this platform at this young age. And whether you're mighty thinkers or whether you made it to the final rounds, I had really enjoyed hearing your perspectives. Each team came in with a lot of preparation, and looks like you guys are all introduced to these topics, which today, after 30 years of just existing and getting into business, I'm getting introduced to, hey, what's positioning? How do I implement it? It's great that you all are getting started at such a young age. I feel like I found my voice when I was 20 and you're like half my age when you're getting started with these conversations. It's amazing. Keep up the momentum.
Thank you, Ms. Deepika.
And then I wanted to make my observation on the idea of other brands copying you when it comes to thought leadership. That is considered a success in many ways. And it is a sign that you need to adjust your positioning to go and take the next step, because brands and thought leadership and positioning, it's constantly in flux and it's constantly evolving over time. So I guess my closing statement would be, no matter what field you're working in, whether it's branding, whether It's engineering. Be open to your ideas and your decisions changing over time, because the more you're open, the better chance you are going to have of staying ahead in your field. And you are all very smart, and I was very happy to be here today. So thank you for the chance to be here.
Thank you, Ms. King.
I'd just like to say that I was very impressed with the thoughts and the ideas that you all came up with. And just to think that you've just been talking about it for 2 days, that's yesterday and today, if I'm not mistaken, that was itself very, impressive for the kind of topics that you guys thought of and the level of the depth of thinking that you went to from purely, let's say, just from having heard about these topics yesterday and for having spoken so much today with so much of, what shall I say, knowledge about what you were speaking and the conviction that you had to present your points, whatever it was. I was very impressed, and I'd like to appreciate your effort here. It was really fantastic listening to you. I definitely learned a lot, different ways of thinking. And I'd also like to congratulate Team Sciensation for putting up this event. And I'm very happy to have been here. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr.
Rachita ma'am, unmute yourself. No, we are not able to hear you.
I'm so sorry. So I'm always amazed, Tarun, at the tough topics that you pick and the depth of understanding that the kids and everyone has, me including, every time. I learn whenever I'm part of the dialogue that you have. Thank you for including me.
Yeah, thank you,
Hello?
Ms. Yeah. Yeah, over to Yugandhar, sir, I guess.
No, we are done. I mean, I actually shared my this thing throughout, right? If you ask me very explicitly, I have no words. I enjoyed the entire conversation that you actually can see. But anyway, fantastic
So
thing.
before we close, I think we would really be interested in hearing the teachers of what have the teachers felt about the whole program, about what the jury members have asked and what the jury members have said, and how the students have responded to the format and the topic. If the teachers would want to share their views, I think would be very interested in listening. We understand that some of the teachers are here with us, so if the teachers wish to share your perspectives, we'd love to listen.
Darun, can I share my experience?
Yes, Mr. Hassan. Yeah, please go ahead.
Darun, it is an excellent experience being a part of your session. Previously, also I was there when you conducted a session on CTO. I was there from the start till the end, and it was an excellent experience. And I started to observe things from that perspective whenever I think on such topics after having seminar with you. And about this current seminar, it is also an excellent platform, and the way you guys are conducting it. The very beginning, when you were training our students, you were having their feedback on their learning and the differentiation between the two things of leadership and positioning. The way you were guiding them and the way you were tolerating and with patience you were catering our students, it was ideal and it was very awesome. I was truly inspired from that.
Thank you, Mr. Hassan.
I would like to add few points here, that this is not only the learning of a student, this is the learning of teachers as well. As I have learned so many things from the previous program as well as this time, I learned a lot about TL, what is who is a thought leader, what is the working of CMO, and I feel really motivated and appreciate each and every student who participate. So thank you for the consideration of our team, and thank you for inviting us in this program. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. So this brings us to the conclusion of the Young CMO dialogue. Thanks a lot to all the students, the teachers, and the jury members for joining us. I hope this opens up the kind of opportunities which are probably not tapped enough. So we're having our next Socratic dialogue on February 12th and one more in the last week of Feb. So the CTO dialogue was done. The CMO dialogue was done. The CFO dialogue is coming soon. So we hope you'll join us for the CFO dialogue too. And the difficulty and the technicality of the concepts is only going to go high. So keep guessing the kind of concepts you're going to pick for the CFO dialogue. Thanks a lot to everybody for your valuable time. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mr.